We live, baby. Everybody shut up, we're making art.
Are you enjoying this content right now?
Is that what you say before you start recording? Content! Content!
I just shouldn't even notice what you're doing. It's so weak. We're in a new studio. You can shout, Garnt.
Can you give us an example?
Content!
Oh my god.
Hello, gamers. Welcome back to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm Boy with Boys. You guys know us by now. And we have a themed episode, as you can tell.
Woo! We've never done this before.
We've never done this before.
Like, imagine this. What if we make a 3x3, guys? Never done that before.
Have you heard of an episode that will not go on a tangent? I'm just kidding. We will go on a tangent.
I think because me and Garnt are planning to go out to the UK for a bit, so we need to record a little more episodes in advance. So our solution to do that is themed episodes, so that we don't run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we don't run out of stuff to talk about.
I like the 3x3 episodes, right? Because it's just a good excuse to talk about shit that maybe we're not gonna ever tangent towards.
It's also just hilarious that we kind of brought back the 3x3, like. Not
the 3x3's never died.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, right?
I don't even know if it's a thing.
People haven't done it since like 2010. But anyway, we've done a couple of 3x3 episodes in the past. We did one on anime.
Yeah.
We've done one on games.
Yep.
And I think this will be the third one now.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about movies! Not anime movies, though.
Yeah. Actual live-action movies.
With real people.
Real people. Because I feel like we don't
we have to fucking specify we watch real movies.
Yeah, of course. Because to some people, it's like, oh, so 9 Ghibli films. Is that going to be
honestly, like, I don't get to talk about live-action movies a lot, even though I feel like I've watched a hell of a lot of live-action movies, but the biggest problem I had when making this 3x3 was I don't remember what the fuck I've watched.
Well, you've been watching movies God knows how long, right?
For like my entire life.
There's no like my movie list.
I feel like when you got into anime specifically, it was probably at a point where you really like cared about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you made note of what you were watching.
Yeah.
You've been watching movies your whole goddamn life because this is what you do.
Well, didn't you go through like the IMDb top 200 or whatever?
Well, I went through it to remind myself, all right, what have I seen? Okay, I know.
Yeah.
I like that. That one's good, but it's not my favorite.
I literally had to go down that list to remind myself of what I've seen and what I haven't seen.
So what logic did you guys use to choose your 3x3s?
Okay, so in my head, I always have like a top 3 movies ready because you know, you're always going to be asked, "Hey, what's your favorite movies?" So I always have like a top 3, but 3x3, you need 9 movies, right? So I'm like, all right, shit. All right, I'll fill in the rest of the 6 with like movies that I thought were really good that I want to recommend to people.
Yeah.
Or movies that I know I've seen multiple times and I'll keep watching multiple times.
Yeah, mine were not recommendations at all. I was thinking maybe I'll just make the ones where like the movies I really, really like. And then I just went through like my list of movies I really liked, and I just like too many fucking movies.
Yeah, right.
I literally could not narrow it down. It needs to be like a fucking top 50 list.
Like I've seen most of the IMDb top 200. I was like, this is not helping.
Yeah, it would just literally just be like the IMDb top 200 most of the time. So like I just went, fuck that. What are the movies that I've just seen the most?
Yeah.
And like if it's on TV, I'm just like, I got time to watch this movie.
I don't know. I just picked movies that made me think of something. feel things. I don't know. A movie that gave me an experience.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that's...
Because, I feel like the problem with that for me is that too many movies do that for me. So it's like...
Yo, you out here like fucking having an emotional breakdown every movie you watch?
I like movies. I like movies.
I also, it's really hard also to like get rid of recency bias as well. Because immediately I thought of like the last 10 movies I watched and I'm like, were they as memorable as these other movies that I probably haven't seen in like 5-10 years?
I'm gonna say there's some movies on my list that I haven't seen in fucking years and I've put them on just because
I can't wait to quiz you about movies.
I was like obsessed with them as a kid.
Yeah.
So some of those are on my list.
So maybe the fucking Teletubbies movie. How far back are we talking here, guys?
Pretty far back. You'll see.
So let's see if our movie tastes are as pretentious as our anime tastes.
Yeah, it's.
But we're gonna decide, as always, with Trash Box Kun to see who goes first. Oh. Get that out of here.
Is that still in there from last time?
That's in there from last time. We're going to throw that out. And,
that was a scripted joke last time. We just forgot we put her in this time.
this time around. That was a genuine bit. All right, who wants to pick? Who goes first?
I'll go first.
I hope it's not me go. I really don't want to go first. Thank God it's gone. Thank God it's gone.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. I didn't want to go first.
Bring up Garnt's 3x3.
Okay.
So your logic for your 3x3 was... Oh my God.
This is why I didn't want to go first. because I've got to fucking defend this shit.
Okay, there are some there where I'm like, okay, genuinely good movies, and then there's
okay, so this is split into two parts.
I just love how Space Jam's in the fucking middle.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking.
This is my movie.
As a fucking kid, as a kid who grew up in the 90s, everyone went through a fucking Space Jam phase. This is a classic. Okay,
of course.
It's a fucking classic. I mean, as a kid, I didn't watch the fucking NBA, didn't even watch the fucking Looney Tunes. And even as a kid, I fucking watched this so many times. Every time it was on TV, I rewatched this shit so much. Space Jam's amazing.
It's a good movie.
You sound like a kid trying to justify why you shit on the bed. Like to your parents.
Do you want to go through your list?
All right, so, okay. So, Kung Fu Hustle. Right.
That's good.
That's a good movie.
That's a great movie.
Rush Hour 2.
I fucking love Rush Hour.
Yeah, Rush Hour. Okay,
Rush Hour 2. Memento.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I have a feeling you're going to put Memento over some. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know, because I was that close to putting Memento on my list, but I'm like, this... I feel Garnt's going to put Memento on. I don't know why.
Space Jam.
Of course.
The Matrix.
First Matrix, right?
Yeah, the first Matrix.
Okay, good.
The 40-year-old version. Snatch and Confessions. So this is very much split up into my childhood obsession movies, and then some movies that I just want people to watch and recommend, and that's why I've just watched it so many times.
Okay, so before I guess, which movies have you seen, Joey, here?
I've seen all of them except for Kung Fu Hustle and Confessions.
I've not seen... Snatch sounds so familiar.
Is Snatch the one where...
That's the one where he fucking is like a boxer, right?
Yeah, Snatch is a Guy Ritchie movie.
It's a good movie.
I think it's Guy Ritchie's best movie, like by far. It's that and Lock, Stock. And I was thinking about putting a Quentin Tarantino movie on, but
I'm surprised there is no Quentin Tarantino movie.
Okay, I had a feeling someone else was going to put it on.
Okay,
so that's why I put on Snatch instead of Quentin Tarantino, because it's like Snatch and like Reservoir Dogs, which is like my Quentin Tarantino movie of choice. It's kind of like the same kind of field for me.
Yeah,
and I feel like more people know about Quentin Tarantino, which is why I wanted to put Snatch, which is kind of like if you want kind of a British Quentin Tarantino kind of movie where it's just got amazing dialogue, and I love the concept of a lot of different characters that has nothing to do with each other, just kind of like merging into one coherent storyline. And there's just the banter in this is so fucking good that I still quote this to this day. Like so many of the lines I come up with just comes from Snatch, because it's just got great writing, great fucking humor.
Wow, you're literally stealing from Snatch.
Yeah. I haven't seen Confession.
Okay. Me neither. I've never even heard of this
Confessions movie. Is actually a Japanese movie, right?
Very fitting.
I know, and it's the one movie.
Kokuhaku? I think I've read the book. Yes, okay.
I didn't know it was even based on the book, but it's probably my favorite revenge movie of all time.
I think it's a Miyabi Miyuki book. Is it the one where it's like set in high school?
Yeah.
With like two girls?
Kind of.
I think that's the one.
So the concept of this movie is the main character's a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And she used to teach teacher class, right? And so these two students from these class, or I think it's like 2 or 3 students from this class, they basically murder her daughter.
Yeah.
But because of Japanese laws, if you're like a minor, then you can't be charged, even if you've technically like killed somebody, right?
Which is fucked.
which is fucked, and that's like the whole premise of this movie.
Yeah.
And the premise of this movie is just her basically playing fucking 5D chess against these high schoolers and just coming up with a very unique like revenge scheme against these kids, right? And it's kind of like maybe similar to Oldboy, if you've seen Oldboy, but maybe just not as fucked.
Yeah.
I think
Oldboy's pretty fucked.
Yeah,
Oldboy's pretty fucked. And my problem with Oldboy is that
I'm surprised Oldboy isn't on your 3x3.
Well, my problem with Oldboy is I really liked it, but there are definitely some parts of Oldboy that really push your suspension of disbelief. Without spoiling the ending of Oldboy or something, there's some plot elements where you're just like
the final twist.
Yeah, like the final twist where you're just the final twist where you're just like can the human mind be tricked into doing this? That's like kind of pushing it. What I like about Confessions is that it's kind of like the same kind of deal where it's one person getting revenge over people.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like she's kind of like a light Yagami Lelouch kind of character where it's a very intricate revenge plot. But it's believable.
Yeah.
And it's believable because the whole premise is fucked to begin with, because this is real. Like, Japanese minors cannot be charged even if they kill somebody, and that's like the premise of the movie. But the way it unravels is really, really interesting. And for a Japanese movie as well, one of the biggest things I remember when watching this movie for the first time is that out of nowhere, they start playing Radiohead.
Hell yeah!
And I'm just like, is that fucking Radiohead I'm listening to now? And so Radiohead is part of this.
10 out of 10.
And so it's like literally one of the best parts of this movie was just like, the song for like the epic reveal where she reveals everything.
Yeah.
It's just fucking Radiohead. Right. And I'm just like, this is the best reveal I've ever seen in a movie.
Wait, which Radiohead song is it?
I can't remember. It's not a.
You just remember the emotions.
I just remember the emotions, man. It's not the most famous Radiohead songs.
Right.
Yeah, it's the one movie that I think is like really underground because it's a Japanese movie, and everyone who's watched it so far has been really, really fucking impressed. And I don't see many people talking about this movie because I feel like Japanese cinema in general just gets looked over a lot. But
I feel like because they tackle very Japanese things more often than not. Like
Yeah,
the way they
definitely.
go about things is very Japanese and like kind of like doesn't really make, not that it doesn't make sense, but just kind of odd.
Yeah, there's a lot of like cultural elements and like things that they throw back to that where other people will be like, oh, that doesn't happen in my school.
You have to kind of like just look past a lot of things, I think, when you watch Japanese movies as a foreigner, because you can't relate to most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I've definitely read this book before and I really, really enjoyed it. Like back in like high school as well. I think this is quite an old book. But yeah, I mean, for one, I didn't even know this was like a movie, first of all. And I didn't even know it was available in English. Because like a lot of Japanese cinema doesn't make it outside of Japan.
Oh, but like, there's always translations online.
Oh, yeah, of course. But it's like, I don't know. I just wasn't expecting this.
Like I recommend a lot of movies from this director. I can't remember his name, but Confessions is my favorite one.
Is it on the poster
Memories of Matsuko is another movie that this director made that is like really underground, even for like Japanese cinema, but it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, just like if you're gonna take anything out of my 3x3, watch Confessions, because more people need to know about Confessions, Kokuhaku. It's an amazing movie. It's one of the few Japanese movies that I think is just easily accessible to like anyone. You don't really need to know about Japanese culture. It's just a good revenge plot, and it kind of if you like Old Boy or a lot of Korean movies, you're probably gonna like Confessions. Yeah,
Miyabi Miyuki, I think, is the original woman who wrote Kokaku.
Right.
But like all of her books kind of like deal with this kind of like it's kind of like criticizing fucked up parts of Japan and like using it as like an advantage. Rather.
I'm down for that.
It's really good. Yeah, the book I remember
sounds really
good. Yeah.
Might actually watch it.
Yeah.
The best movie on there is the 40-year-old version.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Honestly, I think because I wanted to put a comedy movie on. I was thinking, what comedy movie can I infinitely rewatch?
You've got like 3 on there.
Yeah, you got Scott Pilgrim vs. the World,
comedy movie?
Space Jam, Rush Hour 2. It's like all comedy.
Scott Pilgrim is a comedy.
Scott Pilgrim's a comedy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I guess it's like a...
It's a fucking comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's non-stop jokes.
I mean, it's okay. It's
It
not
is
just
the best with visual comedy.
Yeah, it's okay. It is definitely it's a comedy movie, but it's not just got comedy in it, because I love.
Iris 40-year-old virgin. It's a great story of a man, coming to lose his virginity.
Yeah, of course. It's a great coming of age story.
It's a great coming of 40-year-old age.
Yeah, and I was thinking like, what? Because I feel like recently comedy movies have kind of just died. I don't know if that's the thing. What's?
Well, I mean, it's like the fucking Will Ferrell movies and all the modern Adam Sandler films outside of Uncut Gems. I've just fucking made it good. That's literally only it.
Yeah,
but also the Adam Sandler movies do extremely well on Netflix. And
oh, really?
They're some of the most watched things on Netflix.
Wow.
The ones that they bought off.
I don't think I've seen an Adam Sandler movie since.
Well, because they're all so mediocre. His new ones.
Yeah.
And the only one that he was amazing in, which was Uncut Gems, is absolutely fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't even his movie. It was he's the main actor.
Oh yeah. I've heard. What is that a comedy movie or is that just a movie?
No, it's like a pretty brutal movie. It's really fucking good though.
Yeah.
All I've seen from that is the clip when he goes, "Oh my god, I'm gonna come." That's pretty much all I've seen of that movie. And I'm just like,
I need to watch this movie
What
now.
is going on? Adam Sandler, what is happening right now?
Honestly, it's a fucking amazing movie.
I need to watch this movie.
It's so fucking good. And Uncut Gems, please watch it if you haven't. I think it's his best role.
Yeah. But yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin is like, to me, the infinitely rewatchable comedy movie for me.
That used to play on British television, I think like once a fucking week.
No, that's why I've watched it many times.
Everyone in the UK has watched it because it used to play on British like all the fucking time.
This is also one of those movies that never leaves the airplane. Like it's always playing. Like if you look up movies on an airplane, like the old classics genre, it's always in there.
There's so many famous scenes in that movie, like the fucking tit scene where they talk about feeling a boob.
Oh yeah, it's like a sandbag.
And the fucking waxing scene as well. It's iconic. It's iconic, and I feel like this gets talked about less than maybe like. At least when it first came out, because the iconic
was that one of his like most famous like was that one of the roles that like blew him up?
This was when I first started to know Steve Carell, because I didn't know about him before, because I think before that the only thing I've seen him in was like Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, right.
But he had like one iconic scene out of that.
He wasn't the main character.
He wasn't the main character. I mean, it was Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But I feel like this was his first movie where I was just like, damn, this guy's funny. This is a funny fucking movie. Yeah, probably. But I remember back when this came out, the iconic comedy movie when this first came out was Superbad.
Oh, classic.
Everyone,
that was like 2000s humor. Like that was all those movies.
Yeah. And everyone,
pee-pee humor,
and everyone was quoting Superbad, and I was just like, I kind of think the 40-Year-Old Virgin's funnier. And that was just me back then.
I thought Superbad was funny for like 2 months.
No. When you're in high school, Superbad is like the funniest shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're just going through it.
But like when you've heard of like the 1000th McLovin joke, you're just like, all right, yeah, I get it.
I mean, it's kind of the same with Borat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I should put Borat on mine.
Actually, it's so fun. Sydney had never seen Borat before,
right?
So she watched Borat for the first time in 2021, about a month ago.
Okay,
and like me, someone who's like been quoted Borat throughout my entire high school. It's been quoted to death, right? I it's hard to find it funny anymore because it's just been like everyone's just
it's so ingrained.
It's so ingrained that I just ceased to find it funny anymore. She still found it fucking hilarious.
Bro, it's so funny. It's legitimately hilarious.
It is really funny. Yeah.
Like when I watch that movie, all I think is like, God damn, he's such a fucking amazing actor.
Yeah.
Like that, he is. There's no movie that even comes close to like that kind of experience.
No,
like what he does, it's crazy.
Admittedly, like I can probably quote most of that movie, but I'd be lying if I said every time I heard Borat go, "My wife," I'm like, that's just hilarious.
It's so funny because Borat said "my wife" and Cindy just fucking lost it, and I'm just like, oh shit, this was funny at a point. I forgot that this was legitimately funny.
Yeah, exactly. Like the genius of fucking Borat was that it like made you on a surface level you think that this is just hee funny movie making fun of but it was really just a really fucking intelligent way of showing how racist America was.
Exactly.
And that's how good, and the best part is that those people were the ones quoting it after the movie came out. Exactly. But it's like a genius way of showing it in a way that like he showed like how like I guess there was like racist problems in America before it was like talked about widely today. And still it was massively marketed towards the audience, and half of them didn't even know that that's what he was poking fun at.
Well, that's what I fucking loved about Ali G back in the day, right?
Oh my god, that's a name I haven't heard in so long.
Like that is
Here's a movie as well. Like
that. Oh my god, like the first time I watched that, like I thought everything was scripted. And like a lot of it is, but like some of the interview scenes and stuff like that, like it's all not scripted. I'm like, how the fuck does he do that?
He's just a genius at like being able to turn a situation and like make them look stupid without having to like make them think that he's playing a character. He's so good at that.
I'd like he is actually like a social genius because he knows how to work people so well. And the thing is, like, he gets so invested in his characters that it's actually insane.
Must be a nightmare being married to him.
It's like, which character are you tonight, honey?
Like, because I remember like rewatching Borat with Sydney. There was this one scene where he gets drunk with a bunch of American frat boys, and at first I was like, "There's no way this is real. This must be scripted, right?" And so we looked into it, and it's totally real to the point.
He got drunk with them.
To the point where he got like blackout drunk with them, and just was able to stay in character this entire fucking time.
That's fucking dedication, man. It's insane.
It's like just so baked. I think by the time he goes to do these characters, it's so fucking baked in his head that he's this character that he doesn't even think I'm doing an act. He just
that's
thinks
just him.
He just thinks this is me. Yeah. It's just insane. I don't know. It's such an insane.
Maybe you should have put Borat on.
Yeah, I didn't put Borat on mine. I wish I did because I just like I just find it all so fascinating. And like What is America is so fucking funny as well. Like, oh, it's just so funny.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Absolute fucking genius.
Yeah. So aside from that, I guess, what else haven't you seen, Joey?
I've seen everything. Oh, Kung Fu Hustle I haven't seen.
Kung Fu Hustle. Fucking, that's a good movie. That's a fucking banger.
I mean, it looks fucking awesome already.
It's like, to me, it's like one of the closest you could possibly get to real life anime.
Right.
it's somehow wacky. It's a wacky live action kind of slapstick.
Well, what it does is that it does to parody martial arts movies.
Yeah.
It just makes a martial arts movie that is just an anime.
Right.
Yeah. All the characters are like, I have this power, and then they do like all weird fucking spells and shit.
Yeah. So the premise of this movie is like there's like this like axe gang, right? This very famous gang, and for some reason they invade this very, very small village that nobody's heard of, and it's just like this secret village where, coincidentally, a lot of martial arts masters have just like is all situated in this one city.
I love it already.
So what happens is, firstly, they find 3 martial arts masters who just happen to live in the city. They didn't know they lived in the city. Like one person was just like I think like a barber or something, or
it's been so long since I watched.
It's been so long, but
the noodle store.
Oh yeah, one was the noodle store guy.
The tailor.
Oh, the tailor. Yeah.
One was the coolie, like the laborer.
Damn, you remember the story. You remember this better than me, Ashley.
Were you in the movie?
And so after they find out these 3 martial arts masters are in this village, they were like, well, we got to send assassins to assassinate them.
Right.
So they send assassins to like get rid of these 3 martial arts masters, and then it turns out that there are even more like higher up martial arts masters just living in there. It's a
pyramid.
It's a hierarchy. Pyramid. And so like they just find out like more OP people just keep fucking invading this village, and they keep like more OP heroes just keep coming out of the woodworks. It's fucking great.
It's just literally just escalation.
Yeah,
that sounds so good.
It's such a fun movie.
Why have I not heard of this movie?
It's really, if you watch martial arts movies,
which I used to.
Yeah, you'll know about this because like it's.
Well, that's the thing. Is like during high school, I had like a massive like spree of just watching every Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah,
and like all the martial arts movies I could think of.
Same here.
But I never heard of this one for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you did go through that martial arts phase, this is like one of the peak of just. It knows the genre so well that it kind of parodies itself,
right?
But at the same time, takes itself 100% seriously,
right.
It's just one of the best.
I'd argue that's the best kind of movie.
Yeah, exactly. It does everything well for a martial arts movie, and that's why I love it. It's got the wacky fights, and it's got like the really well choreographed fights as well.
Right.
But speaking of martial arts fights, that defines my childhood. Rush Hour.
Yeah, speaking of Jackie Chan, there he is right there.
What can you say?
I wish there was more Rush Hour. I need the dynamic.
Yeah, man.
I really think that the Rush Hour series was what got me into the whole martial arts genre to begin with. Right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe same. I don't know. It was so funny. My friend showed me it when I was like really young, and I just fucking fell in love with it. Like, it was so fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's a like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker is a dynamic that on paper should never work. They should never have the chemistry that they do, but they have such good chemistry. And the amount of times I've rewatched Rush Hour 1 and 2, especially in my childhood, is just like uncountable. I actually don't know how many times I've rewatched it, because it defined like a good 5-year period of my life, because that was what started my martial arts phase, where I just watched so many different martial arts movies. It's because of Rush Hour.
Jackie Chan is very, very funny.
Yeah. Oh, I'd argue he's one of the most charismatic actors out there.
I feel like in that's carried by Jackie Chan, like how good he is at playing like dumb.
Yeah.
He's so good in this. Like,
but him playing off Chris Tucker is just, it's just
Chris
amazing.
Tucker's just Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
and then
he's just funny by himself.
And
Jackie Chan is also like funny by himself for like a completely different reason. It's a completely clash of styles. But like, I remember when I was doing during the not the Anime Awards, the Trash Taste Awards, when I was doing the Pizza Crust I Have a Dream speech, right?
Yeah.
People were just like, "Wow, Garnt's really parodying Martin Luther King really well." And I'm just like, I actually just took that speech from Rush Hour 2 when Chris Tucker did it at the casino scene.
All of your fucking jokes and everything come from fucking movies.
Everything you hear on Geargurk is just movie quotes.
This is the sequel coming out, right? When I'm just like, these are the movies I've rewatched so many times that they're just ingrained in my mind.
Right. Was Rush Hour 2 the best one?
I think it was.
What was the plot of Rush Hour 2? Is the Paris one?
No, that was Rush Hour 3. That was Rush Hour.
I love how he just immediately knows. It's like, yeah, that's Rush Hour 3.
I can't remember a distinction between any of them. They're all just one.
All of the Rush Hours kind of just blend together.
Yeah. I remember Rush Hour 1 and 2 were the good ones.
Was 3 bad? I don't think 3 was bad.
I think 3 was average.
3 was kind of like the contested one.
I mean, Jackie Chan was getting like a little bit old when Rush Hour 3 happened. Yeah. So he you could tell that he couldn't do as many stunts as he could do. Rush Hour 1 and 2, I feel like, was Jackie Chan more like he could get away with more things.
He was in his prime.
I don't know if it was his prime, but it was definitely closer to his prime.
The back end of his prime.
I think his prime was in like 1990.
But yeah, I remember, I don't know why, but I remember as a kid, I slightly preferred Rush Hour 2. I think that was the slightly better movie, but I mean, Rush Hour 1 is still fucking brilliant as well.
I mean, can we also just talk about the fact that I fully expected you to put Memento in your 3x3?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, why?
It just seems have
I ever talked to
No, it just seems like a Garnt movie.
I can picture the Gigguk video. It's like, guys, what if I told you could go back and get pictures or something? I feel like I would hear like the Gigguk.
My Gigguk video.
I feel like I can see you making a video about Memento, even though you never have made a movie. It just feels like a Gigguk.
If I can imagine anyone making a Memento video, it's either you or John. Like super eye patch.
I don't know why. It just seems like the kind of thing you would talk about.
It's just like a very like artsy film. I mean, it's a really good film.
Is it an artsy film? I don't think it's an artsy film.
It's a bit artsy.
I mean, it's like Christopher Nolan being Christopher Nolan, being like, I have 500 IQ. Watch me try to present my 500 IQ on film. And it's just like Memento is one of the few like films I think he's made that actually is just like, oh, that was Nolan, that was pretty smart. I got to give you props for that.
Memento actually was written by his brother.
Okay.
Yeah. It's based off like a 4-page novella written by Jonathan Nolan, his brother.
Yeah.
And Christopher was like, yeah, 4 pages? Let me turn that into 400 and get Guy Pearce in it.
Yeah, because I remember this was one of his first movies, and they actually, I think this was, I didn't know it was based on a novella, because I know that they made a short film around this, which I've actually seen, and that's also really good, and they expanded on this idea. And it's just like Nolan with no budget. Like, but still doing the same kind of Nolan ideas. Like before, he had a budget, and
Tenet. Right?
Yeah, it's Tenet without a budget.
And then Tenet happens, and then he forgot that he had to write like characters and a plot, and just like to go along with the cool ideas he had in his head.
Exactly.
But like, I feel like this and Inception. I mean, Inception's been memed the fuck to like hell and back right now.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I saw Inception, I thought it was fucking amazing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I will always give Nolan a chance just because his peak.
He always does something interesting.
Yeah, he always, even if he doesn't make the best movie, he always has interesting ideas, and he always tries something new, which is what I can respect.
Yeah, definitely.
Not everything hits the mark, but it's Nolan. You can expect that he's not going to stay in his comfort zone.
I mean, Memento is definitely one of those movies that, like, or A, you have to watch more than once to fully understand it, but B, even after multiple watches, it's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, so to explain Memento to anyone who hasn't seen it, this is, it's going to sound so weird, but it's a movie that plays in reverse, kind of. Yeah, because it's about this guy who has a condition that gives him short-term memory loss. So he can only remember at most like 5 minutes at a
Something
time.
like
Something
that,
like
God, what a horrible existence.
There's
someone like that in real life, I think, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, this is an actual real condition that exists, right?
Somehow they made it into a real thing.
Oh, you
can't believe it.
Oh my God, I can't believe you had the same condition as that guy from Memento. But so because of this, you're only presented like 5 minutes of this movie at a time, and it's a movie that plays in reverse, and it's about this guy who has this condition and is trying to get revenge for the person who murdered his wife.
That's right.
Which it's combine a 5-minute memory, 5-minute short-term memory, with a long-term revenge plot. Things are
things are about to get confusing.
Things are gonna get confusing, especially for the main character.
Have I watched this movie?
It's the one where like every time he comes to again, he looks at his body because he tattoos all of his memories onto his body.
I think I've heard so much about this movie that I think I've seen it, but I don't actually think I've ever seen it.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think I have actually.
It's very good.
Yeah. But I know the plot and I know what happens.
Yeah.
Because it's just
everyone knows the plot to this movie.
Everyone
talks
you
know
what
what happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know the twist, right?
I believe I do.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to say it.
We're not going to say it.
I don't want to know just in case I have it wrong.
Yeah.
But I think I know what the twist is.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember the first time I watched this movie, and I'm just like, damn, this is legit, like really clever. 500 IQ meme aside, you know, you don't have to have a high IQ to enjoy this movie.
It's a very well-made movie for such a confusing concept.
Yeah, because at the beginning you're just like, how am I supposed to follow along when the movie's playing in backwards? How am I supposed to how is anything supposed to be surprising to me? And he finds a way to keep it interesting throughout the entire run of the movie, and then the ending kind of just like slaps you in the face, and you're like, oh shit, I did not see that coming. Yeah. Okay, and then this kind of launched his career, and I feel like this is one of his best works.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
That's
great. Welcome to my TED Talk. Good evening. It is I, the G-Dog AZ Anime Man. So the boys aren't with me right now, but it's okay because I'm going to channel their energy to do this ad read. I love pizza crusts! Today's episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by Punishing Grey Raven. As commander of the Grey Raven unit, you will be assembling an elite team of cybernetically augmented soldiers, leading them into intense action combat missions and unraveling the dark truths behind the virus disasters. And guys, you're in luck, because this is already out. Yes, the first version of Punishing Grey Raven Frozen Darkness has been released on August 3rd. The new S-attacking character, Lucia Alpha, one of the most powerful characters in the game, has just been released this patch as well. And guys, I gotta be honest, the art style, the action battle, and the gameplay is gonna surprise you. Also, one of our old enemies, Rosetta, is gonna be introduced this update as well. And the expert difficulty levels bring you so much fun, fierce action battles. In the activity of Frozen Darkness, you can unlock A-class hero Kamui Bastion in our event by card exchanging for free. Find out about his unique skills of tackling the enemy. So, if that sounds interesting to you, then you can click the link in the description to give the game a go today. Thank you very much to Punishing Grey Raven for sponsoring us today. Back to the episode.
I definitely need to watch Kung Fu Hustle and Confessions.
Yeah. So
have you watched Scott Pilgrim?
Of course, yeah.
I like Scott Pilgrim.
I really like Scott Pilgrim.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I think it's a really good movie.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's the other director where I'm just like, whatever you make, I'll fucking watch it.
Edgar Wright is like the master of visual comedy.
Yeah.
Where like he manages to cut something in a way or just like edit something in a way that just makes it like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just he's one of the few people who, whatever genre he takes on, he'll put his own spin on the genre.
Yeah.
Like it's so rare to find someone who you can just watch a movie, and you can just tell it's Edgar Wright through the editing itself.
Oh,
because it's such a
snappiness of
it's just like the unique and the snappiness and the like.
It's very rhythmic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this your favorite Edgar Wright film?
I think it is.
I think mine is still Shaun of the Dead.
Because I was debating putting Shaun of the Dead on. Hot Fuzz, I like Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz as well, that's a great movie.
Hot Fuzz is good. I just feel like the first half was like a little bit boring. That's why I don't think it's as strong as Shaun of the Dead. And Scott Pilgrim, I feel like, is the most Edgar Wright film there is. Because
I feel Scott Pilgrim couldn't be made by any other director.
No. That's the thing, right? I feel Shaun of the Dead, Sean Penn. Is that his name?
Yeah, Sean Penn. Yeah,
Sean Penn and Nick.
Cannon? No.
I was about to say Nick Fury then. I was like, wait, that's not Nick.
Pegg and Nick Frost.
Nick Frost, that's it. Nick Frost.
It's not Sean Penn, it's Simon Pegg.
Oh, I said Sean Penn.
Sean Penn is the one that dies every movie.
I was wondering who you're talking. I was like, I don't think he's in. I'm trying to think like when you said that.
No, Sean Penn is not the one who dies in every movie.
Yeah, Sean Penn is the one that always dies in every movie.
No, that's Sean Bean.
Oh, that's Sean Bean.
Why is there so many Sean?
So many Seans.
Sean Penn is who's Sean
Who's
Penn?
married to Robin Wright.
Who the fuck is that?
Whatever.
We got a fucking living IMDb page right here.
She played Kevin Spacey's wife in House of Cards.
I haven't seen House of Cards.
I haven't seen House of Cards.
I've seen House of Cards.
Okay, but going back to Scott Pilgrim, the reason I put this on is because like I do really fucking like Shaun of the Dead, but I feel like Scott Pilgrim is just the most Edgar Wright movie to exist at the moment. It's him on like his best form, and I feel like it's this movie kind of like. I feel like defined a whole generation of nerds. Like, like you've seen so many people who just base their entire fucking personality on this one movie. You know who you are. You know who you fucking are. Like you meet that person at like you meet one person of like that at like every anime convention you go to.
Of course, yeah.
It's but
well, I mean, I think the reason why it works so well is because like again, Edgar Wright's like way of directing is very like over-exaggerated and like very not rooted in reality, and that works perfectly with Scott Pilgrim because Scott Pilgrim is based off a fucking comic book series, right? So it's very comic-y.
Was it the first Edgar Wright film you watched?
No, Shaun of the Dead. Like I literally watched his movies like from the beginning. I mean, I watched Spaced before Shaun of the Dead, so I'm like. I've known of them for like a very long time.
I think most people in our age group started with Shaun of the Dead. Right?
I really like Hot Fuzz. I don't know why. Hot
Fuzz is really good.
I mean, it's a really good film.
Yeah, I think that was maybe my favorite.
I feel like it's out of like the Cornetto trilogy. It's like the middle favorite for me. It's like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. Then I can't even remember the third one they made. World's End, that's it.
Well, I think Hot Fuzz is like where I grew up. Those kind of towns.
Yeah.
So it's very much like, oh shit, that is really.
It's very much like if you're not like familiar with British like comedy.
It's literally
and,
just like they ripped my town. I know they didn't, but that's why it's very much similar to like.
Yeah, I feel like that was the vibe they were going for.
Well, that's why Hot Fuzz like barely made it big in the US because like a lot of the references just Americans.
I mean, I feel like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz were both very much cult hits.
Yeah,
because they're very much ingrained in British humor and British culture. You watch Hot Fuzz and you probably can get a vibe of what the place like he grew up in, which is like
nothing bad happened to you.
Yeah, it's just like not something you can say for many other British films even.
True.
I mean, people when people think British films or British culture, they're like, oh, it's like Harry Potter, right? Everything's like Harry Potter over there.
Everyone's just wizarding.
Yeah, but I think another thing that's been lost through time was just how fucking unpopular this was when this first came out. Because now it's just like nerd culture, haha, mainstream nerd culture. Hi, I'm a nerd, guys. I identify as a nerd. But I remember when I first saw this in theaters, I saw this by myself in a completely empty theater in Brighton. Right?
Wow, really?
Because nobody wanted to see this fucking movie. Nobody.
Was it a marketing issue?
Huh?
Was it a marketing issue?
Maybe.
Well, maybe the nerds just didn't want to expose themselves, right? Except for Garnt, he's like, fuck you, dude.
Normally, it's normally a marketing issue, especially if it's a good movie.
I mean, this movie fucking bombed in the cinemas. It was only afterwards.
Definitely a cult. Movie,
it definitely became a cult movie that got picked up and more people watched as like nerd culture became more mainstream. But I remember the first time watching this, it blew my fucking mind how good this was, and I couldn't tell anyone about it because nobody was interested in watching it.
Like, how do you tell them to watch it?
How do I sell this? How do you sell this to someone?
Yeah,
like go back 20 years. How do you sell this to someone, to like one of your mates or something?
Just tell them it's really good and you want to watch it again.
Just like, what's it like? What's it like? Tell me.
I'll just take you. Just shut up.
Yeah, just shut up and I'll take you. Don't expect anything.
Buy some popcorn. Have a good time.
Is it like the fooey? Is it like the fooey?
No, fuck off.
There's good music.
So Space Jam, you already mentioned that you grew up with it and whatnot. What about Matrix though?
The Matrix, I mean...
Do you really feel that strongly about The Matrix?
Honestly, as a kid, yeah, I did.
As a kid, yeah. I feel like it's one of those things where I just care about it as like referential. Like it's so famous and so referenced.
Yeah.
But now I don't really give a shit about The Matrix.
Yeah, I don't really give about the... I don't really give a shit about The Matrix.
It was revolutionary when it came out.
Yeah,
It was like, whoa, you can do that?
I also bias. The fucking scene where they put the thing inside of it, the stomach, gave me nightmares as a kid.
I mean, I've already talked about that.
Yeah, that also.
That fucking gave me nightmares. I will say... I don't think The Matrix has aged very well.
Oh no, definitely.
I've definitely,
especially the first one.
I've definitely rewatched it, and I'm just like, oh god, I thought this was really cool. Thought this was like the coolest thing when it came out, because that's why
it's kind of shit. It's kind of shit.
It definitely hasn't aged well. No,
it definitely has not aged well.
But that's because there's been since the Matrix, there's been a million Matrix clones that have just shot better.
But I mean, like, I feel like part of the big reason I got into anime was because of the Matrix as well, because I'm just like, I see this, and then this was like my anime taste for a long time, because I thought this was cool as shit, and I wanted to find more things like this.
Iconic as fuck, really.
Yeah, it's iconic as fuck, and I remember, I think the first time I saw this, when did this come out? 1999?
97, I think.
Okay, I think I was like 9 or 10 when I first saw this. Way too young to be seeing this.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking this was like the coolest thing, which it was.
It was,
for the time, right?
For the time, yeah.
For the time.
Showing your age there, Garnt, mate.
When he like pulls the red and blue pillow, I was like, which one is he gonna pick?
I think by my age, when I was old enough to be able to appreciate it, it kind of fallen out.
Oh, definitely, because
I was like 16, so I was like 8 years ago.
At that time, right? There'd already been a million clones of Matrix.
Ooh,
by the time it came out for you, people dressed like people in the Matrix are like neckbeards with holding a katana with like a fedora, right? This is like if the Matrix was made nowadays, it's just like the person who's just learned the way of the blade.
I didn't really watch many like nerd movies though growing up. Like I never watched.
What defines a nerd?
Yeah,
movie?
what defines a nerd movie?
Star Wars. I've still yet to watch the original Star Wars trilogy.
Really?
I just
or like Lord of the Rings or anything like that?
I love Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably the nerdiest of nerds.
I haven't watched Lord of the Rings.
The fuck?
You haven't watched Lord of the Rings?
Wait, what's weird? Not watching Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Wait, you haven't watched Star Wars?
No, you're both fucking weird to me. You haven't watched Star Wars. You haven't watched Lord of the Rings.
I feel like you have to watch Lord of the Rings.
I feel like you have to watch Star Wars in that sense.
No,
then.
you don't.
You don't have to. Okay, you don't have to watch 1, 2, and 3. Just at least 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I've only watched 1, 2, and 3.
That I don't count that as watching Star Wars.
I've not watched the original trilogy.
You have to watch the original trilogy.
I just don't give a shit.
If you sat through 12 hours of Lord of the Rings, you can sit through 3 Star Wars movies.
I used to watch like the director's cut of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's like 15 hours.
Back when I used to have a car journey,
Yeah.
but we used to go to France every holiday.
Yeah.
And it was a 12-hour journey. And I was like, like longer than 12. So I was like, great, I'll watch the Lord of the Rings director cuts back to back in one sitting.
Oh my God.
I used to do that, like on the way there and on the way back.
I like Lord of the Rings, but that's too much Lord of the Rings for me.
Honestly,
love it, man.
the
That's
reason I haven't watched Lord of the Rings is, okay, I have watched the first movie, fell asleep, thought it was boring, never came back.
Really?
How old are you?
So when did it come out?
Lord of the
Oh
the
my
first
God.
one, Fellowship of the Ring, came
Yeah.
out in like mid 2000s, right?
Did it? I think it was. Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Like 2003 or something,
Yeah,
right?
something like
so
that.
I remember my cousin watching it, and he was
what
like,
year?
you
Was
gotta...
it?
01.
Oh, one. So I must have been
Holy
like...
shit, it's a 20-year-old movie?
So I think I was about like 13, 14 when I attempted to watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like...
How can
That's
a
like the
13-year-old
prime time, though, I feel.
This is gonna sound weird from like coming from the isekai guy. I just don't find fantasy all that interesting.
What the fuck? That's all you fucking talk about. That's all you talk about.
Okay.
Watch it now. You like fantasy now.
Bring back Garnt. This is not Garnt.
Go back and watch it now.
Yeah.
Anime fantasy, yeah. I fucking fuck with that. Real life fantasy, get this shit out of my face.
Oh my God, what a weeb. What a fucking weeb.
Bro, go watch it. Actually give it a shot.
If it
It's
doesn't have
amazing.
hot anime titties in an isekai world, I don't want it.
Basically.
I appreciate the
Is
honesty.
the main character overpowered? No, Frodo's like... Frodo can't do shit. He just...
That's why it's so good.
That's why it's good, because he
That's why.
fights through all of these like insanely impossible to survive
Holy
situations
shit, dude.
with the power of friendship, bro.
God, every single movie has just amazing scenes in it.
Dude, Sam, best waifu. I'm just saying right now. He's best waifu, dude. He supports Frodo from start to finish.
What's your
man.
favorite Lord of the Rings movie, Joey?
Probably the third one.
See, this is what I mean. You can say any one of those movies is the best movie, and I'm like, that's totally fair. Like every single movie is great.
All 3 movies are fantastic.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So good. You gotta watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. We should watch it together.
It's long though. It's long.
Yeah, we don't
fine.
have to watch the
Commitment.
director's cut shit. Like we can watch the normal ones, which is still like 10 hours, but still.
No. The director's cut can only really be appreciated after you've loved the first cut.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah.
you want the bonus stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to make
exactly.
sure you love it first.
Okay, I'm
Speaking-
sitting you
speaking
down
of-
to watch Lord of the Rings. I'm sitting you down to
Well,
watch Star Wars.
No, I don't think you do.
I don't feel like Star Wars is necessary.
Honestly,
You don't think
okay. Well, I've pissed off Lord of the Rings fans. let me piss off Star Wars.
Say
fan.
it.
All right.
Say it, Garnt.
I prefer the prequels.
What?
Honestly,
I've never just silenced the room so fast.
That was the loudest 1 second silence I've ever heard.
I know the plot to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And like Darth Vader, I just think Darth Vader looks fucking boring. And like I've played the Lego games, so I know the story.
So I basically know Star Wars, guys.
I know the story, and I just think that like Darth Maul, fucking badass.
Okay, to be fair,
General Grievous, only the coolest
Count
fucking
Dooku?
Yeah.
Count Dooku's man. General Grievous is the coolest fucking Star Wars character.
Okay,
hands
he
down.
is.
to be fair,
Jar Jar
okay,
Binks,
if we're gonna
amazing. amazing.
If we're gonna say a hot takes on like Star Wars, I'm just gonna say I think Episode 1 is actually really fucking good.
I think it's obviously because I prefer the prequels.
Darth Maul fight and the pod racing is like the 2 greatest scenes in Star Wars.
Honestly, because the reason I prefer the prequels to defend myself is okay. Number one, I really don't give a shit about Star Wars.
Right. I couldn't care less about Star Wars.
That's fair.
It's just not something I'm interested in.
I'm not passionate about Star Wars either. But,
yeah.
You know.
The Lego games are just banging, you know? They were just great.
Sure.
And it's just like, I remember watching, I've actually seen the original trilogy a lot of times because someone's always got it on in the background.
Yeah,
someone's always watching it at some fucking family gathering or something, or it's like playing at Christmas. I don't know why, but someone's always watching it. So I've seen it so many fucking times, and I kind of find it like just boring. It's just a very standard movie with like it's just a. What's original about Star Wars nowadays?
Well, nowadays it's not, because again, like very much like Matrix, it's just been copied to shit.
Yeah, it's kind of just like the Matrix to me, where it's just to me it's just boring now. It's just a very normal standard movie, and it's just like, yeah, Luke goes on a hero's journey, and Darth Vader is the villain, and yada yada yada.
Well, that's why
that doesn't really interest me.
That's why I never like cared to watch episodes 7, 8, and 9, because in my mind I'm just like, it's not really like a fantasy to like go and watch.
Is 9 out?
Is it really like been out since what, 2000?
Yeah, I don't even know.
But like people like hate the last 2 movies.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Episode 7 was the only one where people were like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, but like to me, there are so many like scenes in the prequels that just stand out to me. Like that fucking duel with Darth Maul and like fucking Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. Holy shit,
yeah, that
fight, is iconic.
That fight to this day still is the best fight scene in Star Wars, and it has the best theme.
Oh my god,
the Darth Maul theme, dude.
Yeah.
Darth Maul was terrifying as well.
Darth Maul was fucking
the Darth Vader theme.
Fuck Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like what's scary about someone having asthma? Yeah. Like fucking.
Also,
I have asthma. Does that make me fucking scary? No.
Also, in the prequels, we didn't get to see Anakin kill the kids. Yeah, I like that part.
Are you kidding me?
I love that
the
part.
first time you see like Count Dooku fight Yoda. Holy shit, man! That was that.
Sure.
To me, that was like by far the one Star Wars scene.
The only thing that irks me about the only thing that irks me about the original 3 episodes is that Yoda is literally a puppet.
All of them.
No, Yoda is literally a puppet.
People love that though.
Yeah, I know, but I don't get that. I prefer when he's like, has emotion in his face.
Yeah, no, I liked him when he was fucking shit up.
Yeah, when he was like flipping in the air.
Yeah, when he brings out the lightsaber, he starts like doing fucking like gymnastics and all this shit.
I love Samuel L. Jackson, bro.
Samuel Jackson.
To be fair,
like
Samuel Jackson is the only thing that made the Clone Wars bearable.
Yeah.
When he pulls out the purple lightsaber, I was like, my man, let's go.
Because like the only thing I actually gave a shit about Star Wars was the Jedis and what's not in the fucking like what's hardly in the original trilogy and like the sequels. It's the Jedis. That's what I want. I want to see cool Jedi fights. I want to see cool lightsaber fights.
Also, all the best memes come from the prequels.
Yeah,
that is true.
Which is like,
it did get memed to shit. Yeah, definitely.
So I'm sticking by my gun. I prefer the Star Wars prequels. Come at me, Star Wars fans.
I wonder how many dislikes this clip's gonna have.
Star Wars is kind of boring. I mean, it's kind of
fair. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's the greatest fantasy story ever written, but I mean, it's decent.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I'm more passionate about not caring about Star Wars and like Lord of the Rings. I've seen some of like the action scenes in there. I'm like, I could probably get into it. There's just
the battles, bro.
The battles are fucking epic. Dude.
Battle of Helm's Deep, bro.
Dude,
got me yanked up.
So good.
Battles are so good.
Lord of the Rings, man, that doesn't make me act up.
Yo, we still haven't had battles as good as Lord of the Rings.
That is
It's
true.
been like 20 years and nothing has come close.
Dude, give me another hour-and-a-half long fight scene, man. I need
it's
that
insane,
in my life.
bro. That guy literally pitched that and they were like, all right, let's do it.
It's like,
let's
so
make
you
it
want the fight scene to be how long?
Yeah, and they fucking did it.
And they did it.
Wait, what's this?
It's an hour and a half like battle scene.
Okay.
And it's
that doesn't cut away to anything.
amazing.
It's literally an hour and a half
It's
of
fucking
fighting.
amazing.
All right, I guess you've sold me.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I need.
They still build character and story in a battle without like bullshit disbelief of what's going on. Is everything? It's like literally they're like in the middle of fucking.
They're literally monologuing as they're fighting.
Because I actually remember why I stopped watching Lord of the Rings.
Why?
Because I was actually watching it with my cousin, and so they go on this journey, and I kept asking, "Are they there yet?" and he literally got so fucking pissed off with me because I'm just like, because I was just like, They're there yet. When are they going to get there? When are they going to get there? Like, are they close to coming there? And they're like, he's like, God, shut the fuck up!
You also can't watch Lord of the Rings with someone who is a Giga fan.
No.
Because you need someone to just shut the fuck up when you're watching.
God.
That's my pet peeve.
Okay, please.
People who love Lord of the Rings, unfortunately, will tell you everything about Lord of the Rings throughout every single moment.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. Please don't be that guy who just quotes the movie as it happens. Yeah. I literally can't stand it.
That is my least favorite thing.
And like, what's even worse is like not even when they're quoting it out loud, when they think they're being conspicuous about it, and they just like start mouthing to themselves.
Or when they're like,
no, the one I hate more is when they whisper to themselves right before it happens.
Yeah.
Or when they're like,
I'm just like, I get it. You've seen this movie 17,000 times. Shut the fuck up.
I hate when people are like, oh, this part's good. It's like, well, I'll decide that. Don't tell me the part's good. I'm about to fucking watch it. I'll decide if this part is good.
Yeah, don't be that guy, please.
or that part. I mean, you always have that part where you show someone a movie you really like, but I try to be as subtle about it as I can because, like, in my mind, I'm like, this good part's coming up, and I like try to like see on the corner of my eye if they're watching it. Like, if I was invisible, I'd be like full on L mode, you know, like that scene from Death Note where it's just like.
Don't look at me like that. It's fucking creepy.
That's the other pet peeve I have when I'm showing a movie to a friend or whoever, and in my head I'm like, oh, this next scene they're gonna love, and I look over and they're just out on their phone.
Oh God!
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Etiquette. Come on, movie etiquette.
Tragic.
But anyway, that's my 3x3. These are not my favorite film. Well, some of these I fuck with. Still, some of these are just there because
I mean, they're your childhood movies.
They're
right?
my childhood movies.
That's what 3x3 is all about.
This episode is sponsored by us.
Trash Taste. We have mugs now.
Trash Taste mug.
Look at this.
Trash Taste mugs.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to drink tea out of this mug?
10 out of 10. It comes with its own lid to keep
my God, the
warm.
lid comes off?
Not only is it just a collector's item, I mean, look at this thing. This would look amazing on your shelf. It's also highly practical, and it's a good size mug.
Look at this. This is so good. I've already been drinking coffee out of it. This is a
disgusting.
used mug. I'm sorry for promoting a used mug.
Holy shit, Garnt. Fuck me.
How many times?
Thank God that it's ceramic and really easy to clean up.
I know,
How many times did you miss your mouth there?
You've seen how I sip, Joey. Look.
On the side. Now you can reenact that meme.
But enough about why Garnt sips disgustingly. You can get your very own Trash Taste mug. Oh my God. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful material.
$29.99 plus shipping. And I think it's limited, right?
Yeah.
For a limited time. So get them while they last.
Yeah, and the first 1,000 people who order one of these mugs will get a personal letter from us.
Ooh. And it's got its little Trash Taste logo on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can't show you because I've literally still got coffee in here.
Guys, you can only pre-order these for the next 3 weeks. So if you want your very own Trash Taste mug, this is the only chance to get it. And it's for the next 3 weeks. And once they're gone, we're not bringing them back.
So you can pre-order them right now. Go down to trashtastemugs.com. Links down in the description below. Support the boys and get yourself your very own Trash Taste mug.
So you can watch Trash Taste and drink your Trash Taste mug with us while we drink from our
You can really feel like you're part of the boys with this.
By going to trashtastemugs.com.
Don't be a peasant. Drink like a king with Trash Taste mugs.
Get 4 Trash Taste mugs for the whole family, for the set.
Only mouth breathers don't drink out of Trash Taste mugs.
Does your mug have a lid? I don't think so. Yeah. This one has a lid.
This one has a lid, and it's a fantastic lid.
Buy a Trash Taste mug! What are you doing?
Links in the description. Back to the episode.
All right, Joey. Who is next? Oh, should I do it?
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Me or Connor?
Joey is next.
Joey, okay.
I swear, I'm always last, right?
Yeah, you are.
Why is that? All right, well... Hopefully mine won't be too pretentious.
Sorry. Oh my God.
What?
Okay.
Is mine pretentious? I don't know.
At first I saw Apocalypse Now and I'm just like, did you just go through the IMDb top 250?
Okay, so I'll go through them. So from top left to bottom right, we have King's Speech, Rashomon, Bruce Almighty, Apocalypse Now, Pulp Fiction, Goodfellas, Austin Powers Goldmember, Gladiator, and Kamera Otomeruna.
Okay, I've seen every English-speaking movie. I
had a feeling you'd put
two Japanese movies.
What are these Nihongo movies? I say that as I put one on mine.
Right? Yeah, so which ones have you guys seen and not seen?
All of these except for I don't think I've seen Apocalypse Now.
Oh, you never seen Apocalypse Now?
Actually, I haven't seen Apocalypse Now.
The 2 Japanese films.
Okay, so like as I was saying earlier, like I always have that like top 3 movies in case anyone at like a panel always asks me.
Yeah.
And my top 3 that I always bring up is Apocalypse Now, Pulp Fiction, and Goodfellas.
I mean, those are all fucking bangers, honestly.
Well, I mean, isn't this top 10 IMDb films.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I feel like Goodfellas and Pulp Fiction are definitely like.
Oh yeah, Goodfellas and Pulp Fiction are definitely up there.
I've never. Wait, no, I haven't watched Goodfellas.
Oh, you never seen Goodfellas?
I've never watched The Godfather or Goodfellas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you not?
You know how you said like sometimes you just save a movie that you just know you're gonna love. I'm just like, I don't need to watch it right now, but I know I will, and I know I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like if we're going through like that IMDb thing, right? Like most people are like, oh yeah, Godfather. Like the Godfather trilogy, that's definitely one of those. And it's like the Godfather trilogy is good, and like I like a lot of Martin Scorsese films, but I think out of all of them, Goodfellas, it's a tie for me between Goodfellas and Casino.
Yeah. And I feel like Casino is so underrated.
Yeah, Casino I feel is a very underrated Martin Scorsese film. But I put Goodfellas there because it was like...
It's the classic.
It's the classic. It was the first like Martin Scorsese...
Safe is what I'm seeing, Joey.
It was the first Martin Scorsese like gangster film I ever watched.
Yeah.
And then like, and then obviously I went back after that and was like, I'll watch Godfather and Taxi Driver and like all those.
Yeah, I think the thing about Godfather is that I obviously recognize it as a good movie, but there's a difference between me being like, oh, this is a really good movie to this is a movie that I really personally enjoy. And for me, Godfather is like something that I could recognize as really good. Yeah. It was just a bit slow sometimes.
It is a bit slow.
I feel like Martin Scorsese gangster films is just Godfather, but just a bit more condensed, a bit more snappy. You know,
true,
I mean, yeah.
Well, like Martin Scorsese did Departed.
Yeah, he did Departed as well.
That's probably one of my favorite. Like,
that's a fantastic film. I mean, again, everything he's made, like Wolf of Wall Street as well was fantastic.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese just makes.
He's just a great film.
He's just a really, really good filmmaker.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Raging Bull as well was another one.
Oh,
really
yeah.
Basically, every movie you can think of that has Robert De Niro in it, it's probably a Scorsese film.
Honestly, like Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci is just like one of the best duos. Like you see them together and you know it's going to be a banger film.
The part no matter what. The part that killed me though was like, I remember because I was telling Aki about this Goodfellas movie because she'd never seen it before, and she was like, "Who's in it?" And I was like, Robert De Niro and like Joe Pesci. And she's like, yeah, I know. And then I was like, oh, and Ray Liotta's in it as well. And she's like, oh yeah, I know that guy from B Movie.
Why does she know that?
Yeah, because she loves B Movie. And I'm like, you're dead to me.
Oh, that poor man. That's just
Ray Liotta's legacy is literally Goodfellas and B Movie. Because I dead ass can't think of another Ray Liotta movie. I'm sure he's been in a bunch of other movies.
I know I've seen him in other things. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
But I mean, like, I don't really have to explain Pulp Fiction. It's like one of the most like
I am normie
cult classic fucking movies ever. Please
I
go
like
watch
cinema.
It's like I swear to God, it was like either Pulp Fiction. Or if you want to look like you have a personality in university, you put a Quentin Tarantino poster on your wall, right?
Yeah, it's either a Pulp Fiction poster or a Reservoir Dogs poster. Yeah.
Well, I put a Tarantino film on my list, so I guess we can debate it when we get to that.
Okay, sure.
Which one is truly the
I mean,
best?
I've seen everything by Tarantino. He's like one of my favorite directors, but I still think to this day Pulp Fiction is, in my personal opinion, it's my favorite. It's really close between Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs.
I still put Reservoir Dogs.
I'll save my.
All right, we'll save that. We'll save the Tarantino discussion.
And then Apocalypse Now is my favorite war film.
Okay, so
what's the plot of Apocalypse Now?
What's it even about?
So Apocalypse Now is based on the Vietnam War.
Yeah, that's all I know about it.
With like basically the it's told from the American side where like American troops are told. So Martin Sheen is the main character, and he is like set on a mission to go and pick up a soldier from like he's like a vet.
Who's the director?
From the Francis Ford Coppola.
It's the same person who made Godfather.
Yeah. So Francis Ford Coppola. Like, this is like one of his most famous films, I think. Did you know Francis Ford Coppola is actually the uncle to Nicolas Cage?
What?
Yeah. What? Oh. Random fact I found out the other day.
Okay.
But anyway, so basically it's set where like Martin Sheen's character's team has to go into the Vietnam forest to go and look for this like vet who holds a lot of information about the Vietnam War. Yeah. And basically he's kind of gone insane and is living in the Vietnam like.
Yeah, because it's Marlon Brando, right?
It's Marlon Brando, basically. It's So Marlon Brando's character is this like Viet like soldier vet who like holds a lot of information and like he needs to be brought back to the US Army. Basically Martin Sheen's character goes in, tries to fight off all the Viet Cong and tries to get him back basically. But as Martin Sheen's character is going through all of these like life and death situations and stuff like that, he too also slowly starts to lose his mind. And then eventually, that poster there is pretty much
it's a fucking awesome poster.
Yeah, pretty much sums up like that scene where he like comes out of the pool as there's like fighting happening is one of the coolest fucking scenes in cinema.
I want to watch that now. That sounds cool.
But like Marlon Brando is like fantastic.
Is it a thinky movie?
I don't know.
How much do I have to think during this movie?
Well, okay, so Apocalypse Now has like a director's cut called Apocalypse Now Redux, which is like 3.5 hours long.
Because how long is the original?
3 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's still a long movie.
Okay. Because here's the thing about Apocalypse Now. Because everything you described, I already kind of knew about it because I knew like the basic plot description and everything like that.
Yeah.
What makes it good?
Okay, so in my opinion, what makes it really good is just the fact. Well, first of all, it's like the music choice in that movie is fucking brilliant. It's like everything I fucking love. Like, in my opinion, Apocalypse Now still has one of the greatest opening scenes of any movie. Iconic. Very iconic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's also just like, again, it's like it takes that like kind of war element, and weirdly enough, it's a Vietnam War film that doesn't really have a whole lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Like really, the most amount of like fighting between the U.S. Army and Vietnam really happens in like the first like maybe 20 minutes.
Right.
And then the rest of the movie is literally just you're inside the mind of Martin Sheen's character as he's like slowly venturing closer and closer to his target, and he's slowly like losing his mind as a result of war. And it's like a very like, I don't know, it's like a really weird like psychological twist on a war movie that you don't really like. Because when you think of a war movie, right, you think of like Saving Private Ryan. Whereas like, there's obviously a lot of like, you know, soldiers getting fucked up in the war scenes, right? But like, there's also a lot of like fighting scenes happening, right? Like gunfighting scenes or whatever the fuck it is. Whereas Apocalypse Now doesn't really have a whole lot of that. It's like, it's almost like a psychological horror set during the Vietnam War.
Okay.
And I think that's what personally, that's what makes it really interesting to me.
Yeah, because the thing is, I think I know more about Apocalypse Now than actually seeing the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because I know like I think this has like a really interesting story behind how it was made.
Yeah.
Because like I think the director himself, I think, almost went bankrupt making this movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Because he had to like convince the studio that he owned or something to like lend him the money to make this movie, and he was out there for like months and months shooting this movie, and it almost wasn't made. And I think like Marlon Brando just refused to read the script.
Yeah, Marlon Brando refused to remember his lines.
Yeah. He's been notorious for that. He has an earpiece.
But this was the first movie where he started to become like this. And then The Godfather, I think, happened after Apocalypse Now, which like then, or was it the other way around?
I think it was the other way around.
It might have been the other way around. Yeah. But basically, Marlon Brando doesn't appear in this movie until maybe about 2.5 hours in.
Yeah, I think like most of his lines are just like ad-libbed because he just refused to remember his lines. So I'm just like, how does that work? How does that work?
I don't think I've ever seen any of the movies that he's in, but I know that he's like notorious for being awful to work with.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like during his prime, obviously he was a fantastic, and you know, he's still a fantastic actor in this movie as well. But it's like, it's very clear that he's not like at his peak. But I feel like Martin Sheen's performance in this movie is just so goddamn good that like he does such an amazing job of like really like progressively showing someone going insane. That I don't know. It's in my opinion, fantastic movie.
I remember. I think it was on Joe Rogan. I think.
Martin Sheen.
No. Robert Downey Jr. was on it, and he was talking about that sometimes he didn't remember lines.
Yeah.
Like I think when he did, which I think Sherlock he remembered all his lines for, but other movies he was just like, just put an earpiece in, just feeding my lines.
Well, honestly, like, and especially when he's like Iron Man, he's just acting Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, because he was saying, you know, some films don't require me to get that deep into the character, so there's no point in spending all this time learning the lines. But like, I think for like Sherlock, it was like quite difficult, some of the lines and the way that he was doing it, so he wanted to learn it. He was just like, it depends on the movie. But the way he made it seem like, that makes sense. Then when you hear about like the third party accounts of Marlon Brando, it's like, oh my God, this sounds like fucking hell.
Yeah, right. And I bet like, you know, because there's a lot of big actors in this name, like Harrison Ford's in this movie as well.
Yeah. Is this before he's angry at everything? Or like?
This is before he's angry. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Just really, really good movie in my opinion.
The King's Speech?
All right. Okay. I was surprised that came out of nowhere.
What, King's Speech?
I've never heard Jerry mention this film ever.
Okay, to be fair, this is probably the most recent film I watched that really made like a massive impact on me. Because like,
really? Aki's obsessed with the royal family.
No, it's because Aki's obsessed with biopics.
Ah.
So before I met Aki, I never really cared to watch a lot of like biopics. Biopics are like movies based off real people's lives, essentially. And so I watched a shitload of biopics with Aki. So like Imitation Game was another one I was thinking of putting up there and stuff. And like
good movie.
Theory of Everything is another great movie. But I don't know, something about King's Speech. I mean, firstly, I fucking love Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite actors. Like everything that he had, and he does such a fucking good job in this movie as well. And I don't know, it's just like, it's a really simple movie, but it's just the acting in this is just so goddamn believable.
Yeah.
And it's just so good.
I've never actually watched it, but I also, when I was growing up, my best mate for like my whole childhood had like a really bad stutter.
Yeah.
So I always had to order from it things and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This movie came out and I think it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
I mean, I think it won Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah, it did actually.
For the
but
year
I
it
mean,
came out.
like, the only reason I knew a lot about stuttering is because, again, my best mate had it and had to go to a bunch of like therapy and stuff to try and get it. Because he was like, you know, like even like at like 16, 17, 18, couldn't like, you know, order at places.
Right.
And so I just got used to doing it.
Yeah.
And then, it was really interesting because I think in the movie they kind of like gloss over it. But like in real life, the way that you like get, like you can solve it, there's like so many different methods.
Yeah.
My mate had to wear like a belt, like a big belt around his chest to make his breathing different so that he wouldn't stutter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the movie actually does go through like all the actual steps that.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
That the king actually had to go through and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, like, it's really interesting as well. And it's just cool to think that like a lot of this stuff actually happened in real life. And at the end, like King George was his name?
I can't remember.
I don't know. Whatever the king's name was, like actually got over his stutter in real life as a result of this dude who just, you know, solved it. Okay. And I don't know, it's just like, it's very like, because you like meticulously watch through like every single step and every failure of the king trying to get over his stutter. Yeah. It's just like the ending speech is just really powerful and like really rewarding, being like, fuck yeah, dude, you nailed that shit. My man, let's go.
I mean, I saw it a while ago and I just remember it was a good movie.
I think this movie got me into biopics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like after, I was like, okay, you know what? Biopics might be kind of cool.
I'm glad you guys didn't put any like documentaries or anything. I was like, we have to save that for another time.
Oh yeah, no,
we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, we'll save that for another time.
Connor will do like a fucking 10 by 10.
I'll bring the 100 by 100 for you guys.
Can I just do like a 1 by 1? It's just supersize me. God. And then obviously Bruce Almighty we're talking about, like, who hasn't seen Bruce Almighty?
I mean, it's like Morgan Freeman as God. I still think of Morgan Freeman as God.
Morgan Freeman
just because of Bruce Almighty.
Yeah. It's like the most 2000s film ever.
Yeah. It is like the quintessential Jim Carrey movie.
Wait, when did they come out? It might have come out in the 90s, but I just think of this as like, this encapsulates the feeling of the 2000s perfectly.
Exactly. Like everyone in it is amazing. It's still funny to this day.
Basically, like because of this movie, if I die and I don't see Morgan Freeman at the pearly gates, I'll just want a refund on life.
I'll be like, take me to hell.
I explicitly died with the expectation that Morgan Freeman would be here waiting.
And then what's another obvious one? I mean, Austin Powers Goldmember.
Before you get to these ones, explain the Japanese films.
The Japanese films? Okay.
Explain the Nihongos.
Wait, which one do you want to hear about?
The first one, the top one.
The top one? Okay, so Rashomon. So this was during like a very... I guess, pretentious period of my high school life where I was like, I want to watch a lot of really old films.
Okay.
So Rashomon is one, it's done by this guy called Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, it's an Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah, it's an Akira Kurosawa film who's known as like one of the greatest film directors of all time.
Hello, I'm a film buff. Mention one name. Hello, I'm a film buff.
I'm a pretentious film buff. So I sat down and watched every Akira Kurosawa film, and Rashomon is one of them. And it's essentially, it's really hard to kind of explain, but basically, I think this movie was made in like 1950. I think.
Yeah.
Black and white film. But basically it revolves around this like one murder case that happens in like Edo period Japan. And the same I guess murder is told from different perspectives and different characters. So like it kind of plays around. I don't know if it was the first movie to ever do it, but it kind of plays around with the whole like unreliable narrator like logic that a lot of movies use now. And it's just like, I don't know. The cinematography in it is like, it's hard to believe this movie was made 70 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's why every fucking big director and a big film buff still says his name.
Akira Kurosawa is your favorite director's favorite director.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, and like, I feel Rashomon was one of those movies that like took everything that Akira Kurosawa was like really good at in terms of filmmaking and just like crushed it into like an hour, 30-minute, like just solid movie. And like, Mifune Toshiro is like the guy in the poster who's in like basically every fucking Akira Kurosawa movie, but like he's one of my favorite Japanese actors just because like, I don't know, he kind of, there's that like weird stigma of Japanese acting where it's like way over the top and like really unrealistic.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Which we've talked about. Like Mifune Toshiro, in my opinion, like kind of took that and almost made it his own. Because like every Mifune Toshiro character is like so over exaggerated in terms of like emotion and like movement and stuff like that. Like I'd be very surprised if he didn't do like theater training and shit like that. But like, I don't know, it's over exaggerated, but it's still like believable, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And it's like, it becomes really like kind of, I don't know what the right word for it is. I know I sound very pretentious right now, but it's a real.
Go ahead.
Okay, but like in my opinion, like there's lots of really good Akira Kurosawa movies.
Yeah,
like,
I think the only one I've seen is Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai,
which is the classic.
That's
is that
a classic.
the one where that like fight scene goes on for so goddamn long?
That might be. I mean, there's a lot of like
that was a really weird.
Yeah,
sure.
There's a lot of fight scenes in Akira Kurosawa movies. The other
Seven Samurai. Did it have a remake?
There was a Western remake.
Yeah, there was a Western remake. Also, The Magnificent Seven is the Western version of that film, which is also a classic.
I think maybe I watched. What was it called? 13 Assassins. That's a remake, right?
That's I don't know actually.
13 Assassins is a different.
I think that's a different story.
Different story, is it?
Yeah.
Is there a really, really long fight in Seven Samurai?
I don't know about Seven Samurai, but like the one that I can think of that has a really long fight is probably Ran.
You've probably seen Seven Samurai if you went through the phase of going through like the IMDb top.
You've probably seen about five.
I feel like I've watched a movie called Seven Samurai that was in black and white, and there was a fight scene that was like 2 hours long, and I was just like sitting there like, when is it gonna end?
I don't think Seven Samurai was even 2 hours long.
Yeah, no, it was like 3.5 hours long.
Is there
I don't remember.
Check.
Yeah.
Is there a long fight scene in Seven Samurai? Can you check?
That was just a very long movie in general.
Can you Google it? Like long fight scene?
I mean, it's probably the scene. It's probably the film you're thinking.
I just want to know if I've watched it.
You've probably seen it. It's a classic. Like it's definitely on the IMDb. Like there's probably about 5 Akira Kurosawa films if you go through the IMDb.
No, it's actually only one. It's only Seven Samurai. I was about to say.
Big sad.
Because that's the only one that's on the IMDb top 250. So that's the only one that most people have only seen.
Probably, yeah.
Even though he has like such a wealth of work.
Yeah, I mean, Ran was I think his first color film, and that was also fucking fantastic. I think the stigma is that a lot of Akira Kurosawa films are like based around like samurai and shit like that.
Yeah.
When like later on in his career, he did a lot of like kind of rooted more in like modern day stuff. There's another film that I thought about putting up there called Ikiru, which means to live.
Yeah.
And it's essentially this like kind of coming of age story of this old man who realizes that he's like about to die. And basically like, the movie The Bucket List with fucking like Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
I feel that completely ripped off of Akira because it's almost like, because the concept is exactly the same. It's like an old guy wanting to like kind of rediscover his life and like really like give meaning to his life on his deathbed.
Okay.
But like told in like a really like cool artistic Akira Kurosawa-esque way.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend for a reason.
Oh, he's a legend.
Especially in the film industry.
Yeah, if you're a movie buff, please watch Akira Kurosawa films.
What's this? I've never...
Okay, Kamero Tomuruna is, there's this...
It's like a zombie movie, right?
Yeah, so basically, it's this movie. Have you seen it? Yeah. It's, okay, I was not expecting anything out of this movie. So I actually watched this film...
When did it come out?
It's quite recently. It's like a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought it was just going to be like, okay, so the reason why I think this movie is genius is the way that it was marketed. So the way that it's marketed, you look at this poster and you think, oh, it's a zombie film.
Yeah.
Like a B-grade zombie film kind of thing.
Okay.
It's completely not. It basically takes the zombie film thing and turns it super fucking meta. So basically what it is, it's like, I don't want to give too much away, but basically the movie opens with this 15-20 minute one cut zombie film.
Okay.
Like there's no cuts in it whatsoever. And then you think, oh, the credits roll and that's it. But then what happens is it goes back and it shows you how that one cut movie is made, but told in a fictional way. It's really difficult. It's really fucking meta. It's basically...
That's cool. That sounds cool.
It's basically a movie on... And there's like all sorts of like weird like... It's actually a comedy. There's also like... There's all these like weird comedic shenanigans that happen behind the scenes of them shooting that one-shot 20-minute zombie film. Yeah. So the movie is about the making of that movie.
That honestly sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, and I think you'd love
that. I'm just like, that's a fucking Garnt
stop
film.
recording right now.
I'm just like, I'll make a fucking video on this.
I was not expecting this movie to be good at all, but it was, one, it's really, really funny. And two, again, like the whole meta aesthetic of it, I was like, whoa, I've never, and what, it gets even more meta because during the credit scenes, then there's a behind the scenes camera of that camera. Okay. So it's like a movie within a movie within a movie. And it's like, I love it. I just love like the whole meta aesthetic of it. But like, I put this on there because like, for one, I barely know anyone who's seen it.
I'd never even heard of it.
I guess people will now.
The English title is One Cut of the Dead.
One cut of the dead.
Yeah.
That sounds so cliche though.
but that's exactly it, right? Like it plays to the strengths of zombie film cliches. It just completely flips it on its head and just turns it into like this wacky slapstick comedy.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool.
It sounds like an episode of Harry or something, right?
Yeah, honestly. It's like if Endless Eight was good.
And sorry, it came out in 2017. I forgot.
2017.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel like the last zombie movie that I watched that I really fucking enjoyed was Train to Busan.
Oh, that's great.
I haven't watched Train to Busan.
That's a fantastic movie.
So good. And like, I can't explain why it's really good because it's just like a very, like, it has like the same beats as just a standard zombie movie, but it's just a really good movie.
Just a solid movie.
It's just a solid movie. Even if like you think you're bored of the zombie genre, like
I think I am. So
because I thought I was.
If you're bored of the zombie genre, you need to watch that.
And then I gotta watch Train to Busan, and then I gotta watch other shit too. Fuck.
No, but like One Cut of the Dead, that was the title, right? One Cut of the Dead. Like I feel if there's any movie I can recommend on my 3x3, it's probably that one. Just because it's like
I like how we both put it in the bottom right as well, like the bottom left. Sorry,
like it completely destroys what you think about movies.
Okay.
In a way that's like really fun and also like just again, it's just meta as fuck. If you love that whole meta thing, like. You'd love that film.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I put Gladiator on there just because it's.
I probably would have put Gladiator too. I mean, it's a good film.
It's fantastic.
It's just, it's just good.
It's just very good.
It's just good. Yeah, it's like there's no complaint. Like I don't have any like special memories with the movie. I just think it's really good.
A clean story. Just a clean. That's.
I like history.
It's not even history, right?
I like tournament arcs.
Yes, that's basically it, right?
Gladiator is just a tournament arc, isn't it?
Russell Crowe, he's funny.
Yeah, Russell Crowe's a great actor.
I just realized, this is basically just a fucking shonen anime.
Yeah.
Set in Rome, and it's just condensed down into a movie.
Dude, tournament arc, revenge story.
Yeah.
It's everything I want. Russell Crowe, it's everything I want.
Yeah. And I feel like it's this. And I was like really close to putting 300 on mine as well.
Because I think I like 300 more.
I feel like
I really like
Gladiator is
well.
the better film, but I think 300 made a more of an impression on me.
300 is the more entertaining variety.
Yeah,
exactly.
Before like Zack Snyder thought I can put slow-mo in everything. What if I just use it for everything? Like I remember
300 is so good.
Not gonna lie, man, the slow motion fight scenes in 300 it's still fucking slap to this day.
I still think it's Zack Snyder's best film.
I
to this
100%
day.
agree.
Like he just peaked with that, and he was just like, how do I recapture this?
how do I do the same thing with all my other films?
It's just such a fun film.
It is.
What a good film.
It's such a quotable, just fun, like bloody, gory film. Like
such a cool story too.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's based off real life.
Good. Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
But as much as we know.
Yeah. I mean, somewhat. You know.
You cannot like watch 300 and not just come out just hyped as fuck. Just wanting to fucking punch someone.
The funniest thing about 300, in my opinion, is just how they made Xerxes into this like 9-foot tall like brick shithouse. When I think in real life Xerxes was like 4 feet tall. Like he was actually a midget. And they were like, Zack Snyder was like, no. Let's get the biggest Chad in the movie film industry and just make him play Xerxes.
Because I think have you been in a like movie theater where they've literally just gasped?
Yeah.
Because like 300 is the only experience I've had in a movie theater where like the whole fucking movie theater just gasped. And that was the scene. That was like the very final scene where he throws the spear.
Oh
that was such a good scene. And like, God, that's such a good movie.
I want to rewatch 300 again.
It's such a good film. Like, you can't not be happy watching that film. Exactly. It's so fucking good.
Such a quotable movie. I mean, like all of these films, like there's at least one quote I can easily, one or two quote I can tell.
Let's get into this.
Austin Powers.
Why?
Gold member though. It's gold member.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I think it's the best Austin Powers movie.
I don't really like Austin Powers.
You don't like Austin Powers? I rewatched Goldmember again just because like one of my friends came over to my house and was like, I feel like watching Goldmember, and I was like, I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years, but let's do it.
Is that movie still funny now? I feel like it's not funny anymore.
I think it's still funny.
Do you think it's funny anymore?
I didn't find it funny when it first came out. I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't know. It's
like that whole like it's the meta thing, right? It's like the fact that Austin Powers as a character is so
just like James
aware,
Bond, right?
Yeah, it's just so aware of what he is that like it's the potty humor, poo poo pee pee humor, right? It really is.
It kind of is.
I like that humor. I don't know why I didn't like this movie. Like I've seen the Austin Powers series. I've seen all of them, and I just thought like, that's all right.
I don't know. It's like for me, it's just like comfort food to just go back to. It's just like, it's either that or Bruce Almighty in terms of comedy films, where I'm this is still funny.
I mean, I think it's just like the pee-pee poop
Yeah, I feel like
joke, but it was a bit too in your face.
Yeah, when I think of Austin Powers, I just feel like I like recoil and disgust a little bit. There's like
I think you know what it is.
There's so many gross scenes in that film that I'm just like,
you know what it is about Goldmember in particular? I think it's like the same concept as like when you see like, you know, a troll face comic on Twitter, right? Where it's like, it's so not funny that it's just funny again.
It's just ancient memes.
Which movie
put
is
into
this?
a movie.
The second one?
This is the third one.
This is
the
one with Fat Bastard.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And like Goldmember is also played by Mike Myers, where he's like the fucking Dutch guy who's like, I love gold! Like that character. It's like, it's so dumb that it's like, it's funny.
I just feel like I put it in like the same category as Scary Movie. And do you remember Scary Movie?
See, I didn't find Scary Movie funny at all.
I didn't find it funny at all. And it's
the same. 13-year-old me loved Scary Movie. And then when I watched it again, I was like,
it's the same kind of like hee hee pee pee poo poo. This is a parody kind of humor, and I just like I never found that too funny. I mean, I love pee pee poo poo humor jokes, but it was just a bit too in your face.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I swear I probably got a few laughs out of it here and there, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know why.
I think I'm kind of just like numb to comedy movies now, just because the past 5 years of comedy movies have just all been really fucking mediocre in my opinion.
We haven't really had many good comedy movies.
Like I'm trying to think of like the last good comedy movie, and like I genuinely think
I
genuinely think it might be Goldmember. Like I dead ass can't think of a comedy movie that came out after this that was like nearly as funny.
Pretty sure Superbad came after this.
Yeah.
Right?
As a white guy, I'm obliged to say Step Brothers, even though I don't really feel that way. You just have to say it. That's every white guy says that.
Hot take, since we're all doing hot takes on movies, I don't think I've ever laughed at a Will Ferrell movie.
No. I mean,
there isn't a single Will Ferrell movie I thought was funny.
I actually think Step Brothers is very good. I was just joking.
There's one scene in Step Brothers that I was like, huh.
When I was like 15, that movie, because I think that movie just came out, 15, 16.
I'm gonna check Will Ferrell's entire like filmography to see if I actually agree with that. Because
like Step Brothers was like okay. I thought Blaze of Glory was not funny at all.
They were just like they were the most 6 to 7 out of 10 films.
Yeah.
What's his most?
Okay, Anchorman.
I don't know.
Anchorman is just driven to the fucking ground now.
I don't know if that's just like had the Borat effect.
Alf is pretty good. I like Alf.
No, Elf is overrated as fuck.
I think Elf's overrated.
I think Elf's fun.
Elf. The thing that I don't understand about Elf is that like it gained like a cult classic following after like all this time of being ignored.
I like Talladega Nights.
I
actually like Talladega Nights.
Because
it has Sacha Baron Cohen in it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this and I'm just like, it's okay. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like Anchorman, I feel like I watched Anchorman past when like it was already memed to death. And I feel like the best part of Anchorman was Steve Carell.
Why are late night shows listed as filmography?
I don't know. I guess I just don't find Will Ferrell that funny. I guess
don't find him like
Lego Movie's pretty good. He's in that.
What?
Lego Movie. Oh, I like.
No. 21 Jump Street. That was the last great comedy movie.
Yeah, 21 Jump Street.
Come on.
See, I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
It's actually really good.
That was the last great comedy movie.
Okay, because I watched the original 21 Jump Street.
No, the new one's really good.
Yeah, the one with what's his face?
Ice Cube and
no, the one with like the really really old one with was it 21 Jump Street?
I don't know.
I might be thinking of something else.
No fucking.
The one with Ice Cube though was okay.
Who was the main character in that? Who's?
Oh, it's Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, yeah. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Jonah Hill is just an amazing actor.
Oh yeah, but like I think Jonah Hill. I prefer Jonah Hill in like the more serious movies though.
Yeah, Jonah Hill's so good now.
Like it's like okay, as much as I love Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty and like all the Jim Carrey like classic comedy like Mask and Grinch and all that. I fucking love Jim Carrey and all the serious movies.
Yeah, his serious roles are
like
really good.
The other one, I was thinking like I'll put Bruce Almighty there just because it's like the comedy movie I can go back to. It's like classic. But like, if I didn't put Bruce Almighty or any Jim Carrey comedy, I would have put the Number 23.
Oh yeah.
That's like really like kind of neo noir, like the most serious you'll ever see.
You like
Jim
that
Carrey.
one?
I kind of liked it.
I like.
I kind of liked it. It's like that one or like Eternal Sunshine in the Spotless Mind.
That was good.
That one's good. And then another one I saw was
Truman Show is my favorite Jim Carrey movie.
Truman Show was good.
Such a fucking good
Truman
movie.
Show was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about the Number 23 was like it was so fucking edgy that it just became entertaining again. You know what I mean? Where like it's like a point of edginess where it's like it just comes back around.
Wasn't that like destroyed by critics for like
it was destroyed
being
by
pretentious?
Yeah. I mean, look.
Wow.
Have you seen my 3x3? It's pretentious as fuck.
Joey's like, yes, I don't understand. Perfect.
I think the fact that I put an Akira Kurosawa film goes to show that I'm a pretty fucking pretentious movie critic.
Wow.
What do you guys think of, while we're on the topic of comedy movies, Seth Rogen films? How do we feel about that?
Kind of the same thing I feel about Will Ferrell movies.
Wait, what was the?
I'm just like
Express is okay.
It's like, haha, he smokes weed.
I feel like
films,
I feel like if it's not like purely just Seth Rogen being a stoner, then it's a pretty funny film.
I like Seth Rogen as a person.
Yeah.
I like the stoner actor Seth Rogen, but like Seth Rogen in films, I'm just kind of just like, eh.
I like his movies. You can just turn your brain off and it's an easy movie. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just hard movies to watch.
I can't even think of like.
Sometimes you just want a movie where you know what you're getting.
Kurosawa films are not the kind of thing I can just put on.
No, of course.
It's like you always get just a film you can watch.
Yeah.
With Seth Rogen.
You want to know how fucking pretentious I am as a film critic? Instead of Goldmember, I was going to put 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh my god! I would have actually been like, actually fuck off, Joe. Actually get the fuck out.
Joey, who are you trying to please, Joey?
Yeah. I'm trying to please myself. All right.
I'm surprised. One thing I'm surprised that's not on here is Trainspotting. Because you've talked about that a bunch.
Fuck, you know what? I completely forgot about that. Actually, can we get rid of Goldmember and put Trainspotting there?
No. It's already done.
Please. Do me a solid. No, he did it with the fucking gaming 3x3. I can do it with the movie gaming. Okay. Mudan or whoever's editing it. Get rid of Goldmember.
This is a shit movie anyway.
Get rid of Goldmember, put Trainspotting on it. Trainspotting's fucking fantastic.
Someone criticized me because they said they asked me what my favorite video game or whatever was, I said different from what I put on my 3x3. We make off 3x3s in like 10 minutes. This is not like the be end all of our actual.
Exactly.
I'm gonna just try to make something interesting.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're fine.
I'm thinking. I've really enjoyed This Is the End by a Seth Rogen film.
Oh, what? Yeah, and what is 50-50 was really good.
Oh, 50-50 was great.
I haven't seen any of these.
They're ones where like the joke isn't just him being a stoner.
Right.
And that's why I feel
Wait, is
like
that even possible?
Yeah.
Wow, all right.
Occasionally he does.
Because I think with Seth Rogen, like I watched one film with Seth Rogen in it, and I was like,
was it Pineapple Express?
It might have been. I was like, I 100% understand this actor and this character now. He's probably like that in every other movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple Express is one of those.
Oh my god!
Like,
can I talk about Trainspotting?
Okay. Sorry.
It's so good. Okay, have you guys seen it?
Yeah, of course I have.
I have not.
You haven't seen it? No. Okay. So Trainspotting is this like, oh god, how the fuck do you explain Trainspotting?
I know that it's not about spotting trains.
It is not about spotting trains.
So the term Trainspotting comes from heroin addicts, where they try to inject the heroin into their veins, so they have to spot the veins, and that is referred to as Trainspotting. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, it's a drug film set in Scotland. Played by Ewan McGregor, who is in his natural habitat. He's in his natural accent, so you know it's going to be good. Very, very young Ewan McGregor. I think this is before Star Wars.
I think the one scene I remember from Trainspotting, apart from the baby scene, was
the
just
toilet scene.
Just Ewan McGregor emerges from a toilet.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah,
I've heard of the scenes in Trainspotting.
Yeah, so a very famous scene is where Ewan McGregor needs to go, do a hit, and he's at a pub, and he goes into the closest. No, that's right. No, he gets the runs, I think, from something, and he runs into a pub and goes into probably the most disgusting looking toilet imaginable.
Toilets.
Yeah, like it's actually foul, and he drops his drugs into the toilet.
Oh.
And because he's a desperate junkie, and he took a shot beforehand, he starts hallucinating as he reaches into the toilet and just goes into the toilet and starts swimming inside the toilet, emerges out of the toilet with the drugs in his hand.
Oh my god!
It's a very, very bizarre movie, but
Jesus.
I remember I showed Trainspotting to Aki.
Right.
And she stopped it after 5 minutes, and she's like, "Can we put subtitles on? Because I can't understand what the fuck they're saying." To be fair, it's a very heavy Scottish accent. Like, there are some scenes where even I'm like, "Oh, I didn't quite catch what he just fucking said there." So, like, Americans,
this is what I'm saying.
Probably best to put subtitles.
Being from the UK is like your English level is OP.
Yeah,
you can understand any form of English.
The only reason why I understand Trainspotting is because I like watched it like over 10 times, so I just remember what they say. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's very brutal film, but also it's like. Again, like the music choices,
sounds
like
good.
Yeah, with movies, if it's got great music choice, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
same with my anime, right? If the OST is good, it's a great movie.
I'd say if there's like two like drug like films, kind of like what? How do I describe this?
Is that a category?
I guess
drug movie.
Yeah, drug movie.
Drug movie. Yeah, like because like I don't really know how to describe Trainspotting. It's just a movie about a bunch of characters. And,
I'm really sold on it, to be fair.
And like how their lives revolve around drugs. And like Trainspotting is one of them. And the other one is Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Which is not a film I think like people should watch to enjoy. No. But I think people should just watch it at least once.
Yeah.
To like realize, wow, I just never want to try heroin. You know, that's just a bad thing.
Well, I mean, Trainspotting was definitely one where I was like, oh, never touching that shit. In
my
life. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah, I was 50-50, but after I watched Trainspotting,
If you ever have a friend who's like, maybe I might try heroin, just show them Trainspotting. They'll probably be like, nope, never doing
Requiem
that.
for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream as well.
I think I just got full on fucking depression for a week after watching that film.
I mean, Trainspotting is definitely another film that is not watched for entertainment's sake. Probably more entertaining than Requiem for a Dream.
I would like to say like Trainspotting isn't a happy movie, but it's like less bleak than Requiem for a Dream.
There's a lot of great scenes, and it's like I don't know. It's just again the acting's really good, and it's just it's a very raw film.
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream just sounds like something you'd give an Oscar to based on the title. You know what I
mean? To be fair, there's some great fucking scenes in Requiem for a Dream.
The title alone, you're like, fuck, that's Oscar.
Yeah, the thing I can say about Requiem for a Dream is that it's a fucking powerful movie. And it's like, it makes you feel emotions that it's not pleasant feeling, but it's fucking powerful as shit, man.
Speaking of powerful, should we get onto my list?
Go on.
Is it powerful?
Is it powerful?
Are you gonna live up to that expectation?
Listen, when you see this 3x3, you're gonna think, holy shit.
Does it have Space Jam on it? Because
it does.
Rush Hour 2?
Yeah. Come on. It's gonna be more powerful than any
I'm
of
curious
these.
to see what your Quentin Tarantino pick is.
Yeah,
that's what I'm curious.
All right, we're gonna have a toilet break now.
Okay.
Needless to say, it's gonna be powerful. I actually did put No Country for Old Men.
Oh wow!
But what's interesting was off camera.
This is mine.
Go back.
Yeah. Yes, this one. Off camera, Drew was like, "Oh right, yeah, I wouldn't put No Country for Old Men."
Honestly, I was so close to putting some of these on mine.
I know you were gonna put Ip Man.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because I was like, maybe someone else is gonna put Ip Man, but that was so close to coming on mine.
This is a powerful list, I think, gentlemen. I think you'll agree.
You know what? The only one that I probably have like a little bit of qualms with is Tokyo Drift.
No! Absolutely not. This is a masterpiece of cinema.
If we're talking about overrated films, Tokyo Drift.
It is not overrated. Listen, the main actor, his
entire Fast and Furious franchise is overrated.
His accent
there, I said it.
He's an impeccable character actor, the main actor in Tokyo Drift.
I don't know if you're being serious or not.
He enveloped nothing is mimicked living in Japan quite like Tokyo Drift.
You're right.
When I went to school
I love all one Japanese actors in this movie.
When I was in school in Japan with my black friend from America,
we dreamed of going to Japan one day, and we were like, "What is the closest we can get to it?"
I think every single point of Tokyo Drift is a masterclass in filmmaking. Frankly, from the very start, in the American high school scene, it's very, very much like how it is to be in America.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Naturally, I race my cars and I cause a lot of damage and don't get arrested and get exiled, which I don't think is a punishment that you see. A lot of movies they would just arrest him.
Yeah.
And I think it was really genius that they gave exile.
Full speed drifting through a parking lot, which is just, if you've ever been to a parking lot in any country, it's just impossible.
I think there's not enough movies that use exile as a good way of conveying the story. Name a movie with exile in it. I'll wait. There we go. It's a medieval.
Probably for good reason.
It's a medieval concept that hasn't been introduced in modern films.
Exile.
Exile. He was exiled from Arkansas or some. I don't know where the fuck he was from.
I don't know.
Some hick town.
Yeah.
And his accent is just amazing. I love this guy's accent so much. I love the accent.
I don't think I've ever felt physical pain while watching a movie before until I watched Tokyo Drift.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not seen a single Fast and Furious film.
I've only seen Tokyo Drift, and because I didn't want to be annoyed because we'd already found the best Fast and Furious film, so why watch another?
Garnt, I must say you are not missing out on anything.
No, Tokyo Drift. Have you watched Tokyo Drift?
I literally just said 5 seconds ago. I've not seen it.
He's never seen it.
Literally 5 seconds ago.
I don't count it as a Fast and Furious film.
No, I don't count this as a Fast and Furious
film. It's a cinema experience.
No.
It's a totally different.
It's somehow worse.
No, it's if you add up all the IMDb scores of the Fast and Furious films, it's still not as high as Tokyo Drift. Like,
yeah, because like 0. That's
how, there's not much.
0 plus 0 is still 0.
Listen, Tokyo Drift is a great film that is close to my heart in many ways. Not only did it get me into Donkey Kong. Because of the DK.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. What's DK stand?
Donkey Kong. That compelled me to check out Donkey Kong.
The beginning of Monkey.
This was actually...
This is the monkey origin story.
It's almost... It's just... There's nothing quite as groundbreaking as this film, quite frankly.
Okay. So what's your favorite scene?
I like the scene where he breaks his iPod and then he still manages to sell the iPod broken, and then he doesn't check check the iPod before buying it. I believe this is what happens, and then he purchased the iPod, then gets annoyed that it was broken.
Yeah,
but he never once thought I should check this iPod before buying it.
Classic
and that's just a great. I thought that was a really intelligent scene because that's how they made conflict through a broken iPod.
What I want to know is how there's so many Fast and the Furious films.
This actually saved the Fast and Furious franchise. It was actually going. No, I don't know.
I think it dead ass might have, because it's like
this was the first.
When you hear of someone saying Fast and Furious,
I think of Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, they're right. Most people I think of Tokyo Drift, and I'm like, why?
Like, do the other Fast and Furious films even have names?
How does it?
Like,
no, it's like Fast and Furious 1, 2, 3, 4.
Memes aside, how does such a shit film become so iconic? Like, that's what I want to know. It is terrible by every single metric of the English word, but I love this film to death.
Well, it's like The Room, right?
It's like The Room of Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Because it's just got the coolest name. I mean, Tokyo Drift, right? It's a fucking cool last name.
Also, legit, I know we spoke about this before, but like, it was kind of like a gateway for me to Japan. Like, it got me.
Actually?
It kind of legit got me into Japan in many ways.
I'm sorry.
It was. No, it's great because then I got to learn actual shit.
Right.
Also, it was the very first DVD I ever owned. It was Tokyo Drift.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it's in a glass cabinet, as you can imagine.
I think the
vacuum sealed in Wales.
Mint condition.
Yeah, mint condition. It's been graded, obviously. It's in a.
I think the first DVD I ever owned was Shrek.
Well,
honestly,
okay. So Tokyo Drift is a terrible but amazing movie, and I can watch it and enjoy it because you can just laugh at it now. It's amazing to laugh at.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's some of the dialogue that those poor actors have to actually like say is just hilarious.
Yeah,
and then it gets just not fun at all towards the end.
Right.
Then it becomes too serious.
Then it becomes too serious.
Let me ask you one thing.
All right.
Why Shrek 2 over Shrek 1?
Shrek 2 is the best Shrek.
Shrek 2 is the best.
Shrek 2 is the best.
Really?
It is.
Dude, Shrek 2 is the best. Bro, Shrek 2 is the best.
Like Shrek Run set the rules, and then
what is wrong today with your English?
Shrek 1 set the rules, and then Shrek 2 perfected everything.
Yeah. Shrek 2
okay,
was
look, I'm not going to go against the fact that Shrek 2 is a good movie.
Shrek 2 is the best, bro.
But
Prince Charming is fucking amazing.
I still think Shrek 1 is better.
Shrek 1 is just an encapsulated experience that is fantastic.
Yeah. I think the problem with Shrek 1 is that no one can watch it seriously anymore because it's been memed to the ends of the earth. Not enough scenes in Shrek 2 have been memed, and I think that's why.
Shrek 2 is just
I actually disagree because I feel like Shrek is one of the few franchises where the memes have only like put it into legendary status. Right. I am never going to forget Shrek anymore.
yeah, I can't.
Like Smash Mouth can like retire because they've already been immortalized through Shrek memes.
Shrek is an amazing film that you can watch anytime, but I think people forget how fucking amazing Shrek 2 is.
Yeah.
Shrek 2
is a great film.
Honestly, so much better than Shrek 1. Watch it.
In my opinion, like Shrek 1 just inches
Shrek is an 8.5 and Shrek is a 9.2 in my head. Shrek 2 is a 9.5 and Shrek 1 is a 8.5. Sorry,
honestly,
what about Shrek?
Every single character 2. It's not even worth watching. Every single character they introduce in Shrek 2 is a banger character too. They all like help the story so much, and then they build on the one-off characters in Shrek 1 that you thought were a joke. Yeah. They bring them back. They're like, hold up. You know, there's a reason why the wolf is cross-dressing. Let's find out.
You're gonna see Gingerbread Man and Pinocchio.
Also, they use the soundtrack in very intelligent ways. You know,
they do.
The soundtrack's banging.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
The rendition of "I Need a Hero" was fucking amazing.
So good.
Scene.
That is a great.
It is an amazing scene. I mean, I stand
Puss
by
in
Shrek.
Boots is introduced.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. Puss in Boots wasn't in Shrek 1, was he?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, his own standalone movie was terrible, but he got. But there's a reason why he was so lovable.
It's also amazing to think like how many fucking high-profile actors are in Shrek 2. Like,
honestly,
isn't the fairy godmother played by Julie Andrews?
I think so.
I think, yeah.
If you want your career made, you're in Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Every coincidence that every single Shrek 2 actor is a god.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas was the cat, right?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Fucking hell,
like, why did Mike Myers do another like fucking
Austin
Powers film when he was in Shrek?
Yeah, this is
why even try?
Yeah, this is
why Joey?
Well, I mean that's because
Mike Myers. I'm like, this is the best Mike Myers film.
I'm not saying Austin Powers is the best Mike Myers film. Shrek 100%.
Because Mike Myers has like 2 good films, and it's Shrek.
Shrek 1 and 2.
Shrek 1 and 2.
Wayne's World is overrated. Shrek 1 and 2 are his only good roles.
I'll agree. Wayne's World is overrated now.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's talk about the Quentin Tarantino choice you put.
Yes.
Which is Kill Bill.
I think
Volume 1. Really?
Okay, I like Volume 1.
Really?
I like Volume 1.
I actually
number 1.
I actually prefer.
I know Volume 2 is
really?
rated. Volume 2 is rated higher, and it's a crime we didn't get another one. It's a legit crime we didn't get a Volume 3.
I think in the entire filmography of Quentin Tarantino films, Kill Bill is just one that I just forget.
See, the thing for me is like Pulp Fiction isn't even like my top 5 Quentin Tarantino films.
Really?
Yeah. I think that like Inglourious Bastards, Django is better.
Django is not better.
Django is not better.
Django is better. What do you mean Django is amazing?
I'll agree. Inglourious Bastards is up there.
Inglourious Bastards.
Django though is not up there.
Django and Inglourious Bastards are both better than Pulp Fiction.
No.
And Kill Bill is better than Pulp Fiction. And what else has he done that's better?
What about like Jackie Brown?
Look. Maybe Django would have been like one of his best films. If not for Jamie Foxx. I feel like Jamie Foxx was so fucking dry.
Do you know who was originally casted?
Will
Smith. Will Smith. If they got Will Smith for that movie, legendary. Legendary.
Top 1 film.
He wouldn't have said half the shit.
Will Smith would have carried that movie.
Yeah.
But because they got Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz had to do the fucking pulling.
Yeah, exactly.
No, everyone
it's Christoph Waltz and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think Jamie Foxx is great in that movie.
What do you remember after the big scene in the middle?
I think I actually can't remember much.
That's the point.
Exactly.
It's been so long since
because
I've
after that, it's Jamie Foxx who has to carry the film, and he just doesn't.
Well, I think one of the
Jamie Foxx tries when fucking decrepit Samuel Jackson.
I was going to say, like, actually, like, you know, everyone focused on Christoph Waltz, and he did amazing, and so did Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
But like Samuel Jackson is like probably one of my favorite things in that film. he is so fucking good at being evil.
Yeah. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the best Samuel Jackson role in a Quentin Tarantino
every single fucking role he does is amazing. Like Samuel Jackson kills it and everything.
Yeah, I get that, but like I think his role in like Jackie Brown was 100 times better.
I just
think I had more fun watching one like Jackie Brown and like even Kill Bill over Django.
I don't think Pulp Fiction was that good.
How dare you?
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
I think it was fine. There was there was too many scenes where I was actually bored during Pulp Fiction.
What?
Like the scene when they're at the restaurant just talking I was bored out of my mind.
What? You mean the one at the end?
No, in the start.
Oh,
not right at not the diner, the restaurant where they're like where they do like milkshakes with John Travolta.
Oh, at Jack Rabbit's.
Yeah, I can't fucking stand
that scene's fucking great.
I just think John Travolta is like not a good actor. I think he's not good.
I mean, I don't know if...
What are these takes, dude?
No, John Travolta's a bad actor,
No.
bro.
Okay, John Travolta is very much...
Samuel Jackson carries... It's so obvious because when Samuel Jackson isn't with John Travolta sucks.
Okay, in my opinion,
How many scenes were there without those two together? Yeah. There weren't many. It was a duo.
But and he was terrible.
I think John Travolta is...
terrible, but
John Travolta is one of those actors where, like, I feel...
Have you seen his recent movies?
No, but that's because... Okay, the reason why... Recent John Travolta movies, he's clearly, like... has just been typecasted as the bad guy because of Pulp Fiction, right?
Have you watched what is it?
Because before Pulp Fiction, John Travolta just did all the Grease Lightning movies, right? So he literally went from...
he was in Grease.
He literally went from this like sing-songy, like cool boy guy to suddenly playing as this like badass gangster, right? And because of the success of Pulp Fiction, the movie industry was like, we need a bad guy who's also like kind of quirky and charming on the surface, but is actually fucked up on the inside. John Travolta.
I mean, like, Pulp Fiction isn't my favorite Tarantino movie.
What's your favorite one?
I mean, I put it on as Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
Like, I still would put, like, I really love Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Would you say Inglourious Bastards is better than Pulp Fiction to you?
I'd say it's about the same.
I think Inglourious Bastards is good. It's better than Pulp Fiction, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I do agree with you where there are some parts of Pulp Fiction that did drag, but when, like, I feel like the highs of Pulp Fiction are just, they're like the best Tarantino can do.
Yeah, 100%.
Kill Bill is, I feel like, one of his most
I love Kill Bill.
different movies.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Kill Bill is clearly the movie where Tarantino was like, I like anime, by the way.
Yeah, did you know? I love it.
Did you know? I really like anime.
It's so
I
good.
really like Japan.
It's so cool. I just love it. Everything about the movie is just so fun.
No, I mean, like,
badass.
Uma Thurman's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
I love Uma
I love
Thurman.
the scene with what's her name, Kuriyama Chiaki, who's like did Gogo Hibari with like the chain thing.
That's so good. I love that.
I just love fucking Uma Thurman's janky Japanese when like Gogo Hibari comes out like swinging the chain.
That sucks.
And then Uma Thurman turns around and she's like, Gogo dane. That scene fucking kills me every time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like on an aesthetic level, there's few that are as iconic as Kill Bill.
It's such a fucking movie. And also, the restaurant is still like open in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like going there and like seeing it and be like, fuck, it's so cool when you go to that restaurant and you're also like, fuck, how did they make this happen?
It's definitely cool. Like a culturally significant movie.
Yeah, I mean, Kill, like, cool. For the record, all of Quentin Tarantino movies are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I just feel like Kill Bill is like the most different. I feel like, especially in terms of Tarantino movies, Volume 2 was felt way more like a Tarantino movie than...
I deadass don't even remember what happens in Volume 2.
She fucking kills Bill. Joey?
How dare you spoil?
Joey?
I can't believe you spoiled Kill Bill.
It's literally there in the title.
I've rewatched the first one so many times. I've barely watched the second one. I don't know why. I've rewatched
I don't know. It's just like, I've definitely seen Kill Bill Volume 2 a couple of times. I just don't remember what happens other than the titular thing.
I would say that the only film, the only scene out of Kill Bill that really sticks out to my mind is the one at the end of Kill Bill Volume 1, which is her against...
Yeah, that's Lucy Liu, right?
Lucy Liu.
No, not Lucy Liu. The one with her against like the fucking... What the name of the gang that she fights?
That's not the end.
The Crazy 88.
Yeah, that's like in the middle.
No, that's like right before the end.
No, right before the end is when she fights Lucy Liu.
Yeah, that's the ending.
Yeah.
So the one, so she fights the Crazy 88 before she fights Lucy Liu. And to me, that is like the iconic scene of the Kill Bill.
That's fucking awesome.
But I feel like overall, I feel like the second film was just a little bit better.
I have to rewatch it, honestly.
Yeah, I have to. I think.
Why is this your favorite Tarantino movie then?
I don't know. Again, I think it's just how unique it is and how stylized. Like this, you don't really get a movie like it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's just such a good movie.
I feel this is the only successful live action anime adaptation. You know what I mean? Where it's like this feels like it was based off of.
I know it had actual fucking anime in it.
It's got by Production IG. That's fucking badass.
That seems dope.
Like the whole lore when they build it up. Oh my god, it's just so fucking cool,
really good,
bro. I love everything about that film. It's just like him, just saying, "Hey guys, I'm a weeb," and like you said, but in a good way, in a way that you're like, okay,
it's definitely done from like a place of like respect. For the medium,
it's just like you watch this and you just feel like this is just fun.
It's great.
This is just a director having fucking fun.
It's definitely the most like turn your brain off type of Tarantino
But it's the best kind. It's the best kind because you don't need to turn your brain off to appreciate this movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it follows that kind of same style.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to think much, but everything about this just has impact.
No, absolutely.
Right?
Impact.
I definitely agree. Kill Bill is really. I just want to rewatch it now. Honestly, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
What do you want to talk about next, boys?
Honestly, I know you put this on because you thought that I was gonna like rub or just fucking destroy you for it, but I'm glad someone put an Adam Sandler movie on.
Click.
Here.
I love Click.
Okay, 100%. Easily the best Adam Sandler film.
Okay. Like a film made by Adam Sandler. This is made by him, right? Like
I think so. Yeah.
Dude, Click is so good.
Click is a really good movie.
Click's great.
Bro, I still cry at the end of Click every single goddamn time.
Actually, I was like, really,
family comes first. That's all I can remember.
I was really, really close to putting 50 First Dates on my 3x3.
No, Click is actually good.
Click is really good.
Click is good.
Click is one of those movies that gets so much bad rap, but like I actually think it's like, come on, it's pretty fucking.
It's a very
Adam Sandler has a bad rap, but
of course there's some scenes in there you're like, all right, Adam, come on.
Yeah.
But then there's also so many moments you're like, holy shit, this is actually like a really good fucking take on like your life and missing out on things.
Especially the second half where it starts to get really serious. I'm just like, oh my God, this is not the direction I was expecting it to go.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And like it shows that like when Adam Sandler wants to fucking act, he brings his fucking A game.
I was like, wow, he can act.
Dude, again, this is like why watching Uncut Gems is like all the shit parts of Click are like not there.
Right.
And just great fucking acting from Adam Sandler. And like it's amazing.
I just feel like people forget that I think Adam Sandler actually made good films. I like
he's
a lot of
lazy.
I feel like Click might be his like last great film or last good film, because I remember he just like fell off a cliff after a certain point. But
now he just makes he's openly admitted that he makes movies on basically if he can go to a vacation on the place because it's his production
what
company.
A power move.
Because the movies that he makes, it's his production company. So he just picks places he can go on vacation with his family.
I think there's a lot of good Adam Sandler movies that I really enjoy. Like, has anyone seen Anger Management? I really enjoyed Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. Oh my God, that's such a good film.
That's a great movie.
Like, he has such a bad rep, but his films defined a lot of like the early 2000s comedy scene, I feel. Nothing wrong with Click.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Click.
Nothing with Click.
Easily, I mean, fucking what's his name as well as in it? Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's the one who gives the remote, right?
Yeah, he's the one who gives the remote.
I just wish they didn't like set it up so fucking stupid. Like in a Bed Bath Beyond, he gets there. Like
he's like a security guy at Bed Bath and Beyond.
And there's so many fucking childish jokes, like when he farts on the guy and stuff, and then fast forwards in the room. Like that shit's so dumb because like they actually hit so many good fucking emotional notes later on. I wish they didn't fucking sully it with that shit. But it's actually a good movie. I love it. It's so good.
Although to be fair, the scene where he like smacks the boss in the face and then plays and goes like, "Whoa! I just had a massive headache." Like that scene is still really funny.
Yeah. There's some good moments.
Okay, I have never seen Catch Me If You Can.
You haven't?
No. Oh, it's a movie.
It's so good.
It's a movie I've heard so many times.
I think it is the best Leonardo DiCaprio film.
Yeah, that's all I've heard from people.
And then there's Tom Hanks in it as well.
I mean,
and Tom Hanks is just a fucking delight.
Yeah. I feel like it's.
What do you think is when you think Leonardo DiCaprio? What movie comes to your mind?
I don't think of Catch Me If You Can.
I
think Tom Hanks for this one.
I don't think of him for it, but then also when I think of it, it uses like everything that Leonardo DiCaprio, especially at that point in his life.
Actually, what movie do you think of when you say Leonardo DiCaprio now?
Probably now Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I think Wolf of Wall Street now.
Oh, really? I think it's Shutter Island.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
What?
I just really like that movie.
Okay,
it's either Wolf of Wall Street or Django. That one I think.
Yeah.
I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio has evolved quite a lot during his time because he's been acting since like
remember when
12.
remember when he was the Titanic boy?
Yeah, right.
And nobody knew him for anything else but Titanic.
But like I feel like when he did this movie, it like perfectly captured at that age what he was best at doing was playing like the sexy young guy.
Yeah.
And he's so fucking good in this movie, and I love it.
I mean, he's good in every movie.
If you need to watch this movie, it's so good.
I do. This is one of those movies that I've heard people talking about for years now, and I've just never found.
And it's based on a true story. And like the guy, it's a
biopic.
And
I love biopics.
The guy who is actually based on has done like Google Talks now and about how I think he's done work. He did like work for the FBI afterwards.
Cool.
I think he was in this movie, or at least he was a producer.
Yeah, because like I've purposely like not looked into this film because I feel like I just want to go into a blind.
Just watch it. It's such a good story, and although obviously it's dramatized, it is based on a real event, and it's so good.
Because if I was to actually do a 3x3 with like my top favorite movies of all time, there would definitely also be a Tom Hanks movie in there.
Oh, dude, Castaway would be in there.
Like, I had only seen Castaway recently, and it was one of the few movies
you saw it recently.
Yeah, I only saw it recently, right? But it was one of the few movies where, despite how much hype had gone into it, I thought it was as good. It lived up to everything. I thought it was an amazing fucking film.
Yeah, amazing.
Catch Me If You Can is more of a Leonardo DiCaprio film than a Tom Hanks film.
I feel like it's half and half. To me,
I mean, it's two big names.
It's two very big names, and I feel like, it is Leonardo DiCaprio. He does do really well in it, and I feel like it just him and Tom Hanks. It's both of them in that film. Whereas with Castaway, it's Tom Hanks, and what's the other fucking massive Tom Hanks film?
Green Mile.
Not Green Mile.
Green Mile's also a good movie.
Is he Green Mile?
Yeah, he plays the main security guard.
He's in Green Mile.
Right, yeah, he is.
Forrest Gump.
Oh, Forrest Gump.
Fucking what an amazing film. That will probably be like in my
Forrest
top
also
favorite
Saving
films.
Private Ryan as well.
Yeah.
He's in that too.
Saving Private Ryan.
He's everything he's in, he's good.
Toy Story, hello.
Yeah, anything that man is in is a good film.
Yeah,
straight
100%.
up.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's the world's dad. I don't know.
So I mean, like
he's everyone's dad.
He's everyone's dad.
Yeah.
I want Tom Hanks as his dad. Are you fucking kidding me? My God.
I feel like we should explain some of the plots of these films. Catch Me If You Can, essentially.
I just feel like these are such like big movies that everyone should know them.
Yeah, I mean, Catch Me If You Can, if you haven't seen it, is about a guy who pretends to be a pilot.
Well,
And that's it. That's literally it.
All
About a detective trying to find him.
That's not what it's about.
It's kind of it.
It's what?
I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah. Don't go too into detail.
I don't want to give more information than that.
I just know it's a fucking amazing film, and I need to watch it.
That's like, I mean, it's that, but it's not. But just watch it. Like that's it, kind of.
That's like saying like Sixth Sense is about a divorce.
I mean, it's the real life story of a con artist, right? That's pretty much it. Right.
Okay, I appreciate the fact that you put Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but the OG one.
Yeah, the OG one. The new one sucks.
Yeah, the new one sucks.
I think it's got its 50th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, already?
Yeah.
Shit.
I just love this movie. I can watch, like, from a young age to now, like, fucking Gene Wilder is, like, such a goddamn good actor.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this movie's good.
I mean, it's a
Also, fuck his granddad, bro. Fuck his granddad.
I mean, it's a classic movie for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've already mentioned The Truman Show as well, which I
Great
mentioned
movie.
was my favorite Jim Carrey movie as well. Why are there so many comedy actors that are just like actual, just really fucking good actors?
I think you need to understand emotions well to be, like, funny, I think.
But Jim Carrey is such a fucking good actor
Yeah.
when
He is.
when he decides to act.
I feel sorry for that man. He seems like he has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But I feel like comedy actors normally do have that problem.
I really want to rewatch The Truman Show now because
Yeah,
I want to, because the entire premise of The Truman Show is that it's just, is it a twist? Can I spoil it?
I think everyone knows what it is.
Okay, well,
if you don't know what the twist is, you should know what the twist is.
Yeah, so it follows the story of this guy whose entire life has just been broadcasted. It's just his life is a reality TV show.
They've made a world around this man
Yeah.
to make a TV show.
This was a Black Mirror episode before Black Mirror was a thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is basically just IRL Twitch before IRL Twitch was a thing. And now it is a thing.
But like, except that in the movie, he doesn't want to be filmed.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
IRL Twitch, people are like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you remember Ludwig's subathon? Just imagine that from like birth.
Yeah.
But he didn't know.
Yeah.
But he didn't know. And that's The Truman Show, and it's just a fucking amazing film.
Great movie.
I'd love to see The Truman Show, except where Truman is just a horrible person. Because Truman is a nice guy.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
if Truman did things that got him cancelled all the time? You know, would people still watch the show? Would the ratings go down? How would they fix the
Probably.
ratings if Truman was going around
just gets cancelled.
Yeah, just getting cancelled. They're like,
Yeah.
fuck, we gotta interfere. We gotta eradicate Truman.
And then we joked about No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I fucking love this film.
It's a great film.
a good
It's just
film.
one of those films that's like, yes, I'm a movie critic.
Wow,
I watch
I don't think
movies.
that based on my list that you could say that about me, but I do think that No Country for Old Men was the first film where I was like, wait, you can just like make things this ambiguous? What the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean,
And
like,
and
I do,
it's
I
also
do
not
like
cheesy
my,
as fuck.
yeah, I do like my very kind of open-ended, ambiguous films.
I
Like, you
just-
know, Memento was one of them.
It's
and
just
like,
like you don't really have a film where you follow the main character often that behaves in this cold way.
Yeah.
That you're also like, you're like, come on, tell me something,
Yeah.
and they just don't tell you anything. They
I think
just let
the
you follow.
only other film that's even remotely like that is maybe like American Psycho.
Maybe, yeah.
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 But every single like, you know, when you rewatch this movie so many times, and then you go and watch like people.
Have you
like,
rewatched it a lot?
Yeah, because it used to be on Channel 4 all the fucking time.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
So I used to watch it all the fucking time, like 10 ad breaks in between.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you'd watch this movie and then you'd read about it.
Yeah.
And you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what that was about. And then you go back
And
and
you go
watch
back
it.
and
you're
watch
like,
it, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was exactly the same with, and I was debating whether to put it on, but I was like, no, my 3x3 is already pretentious enough.
Like to me,
I was going to put Mulholland Drive.
oh my God.
Oh my fucking great film, by the way.
Great film.
Great film.
Like,
like,
oh my
David
God.
Lynch is one of my favorite directors, but
Yeah.
like, I was like, I don't want this to be
Yeah.
more pretentious.
no, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
as well.
There's so many things in No Country for Old Men that I just love so much to this day. Like the fact that he just decides sometimes to flip a coin.
No, I was
whether to kill them.
Yeah.
and he went through with it. Like
Yeah.
if it genuinely went heads, he wouldn't kill them.
Yeah,
And if it went
yeah.
he'd kill them. And it's like, holy shit, this man is insane.
Yeah, like I've gone through this like recent phase of just like, instead of watching movies, again, I just rewatch clips from movies. And for some reason, like, because I watch one, another iconic clip gets recommended. And like, I remember just rewatching the gas station scene. And I was like, holy fuck, what a good scene. I think out of like the entire history of movies, in terms of like tension, I can't think of a better scene than that. I mean,
he's just such a good actor as well. I can't remember the main man because he hasn't done. Oh, he did. He was one of the villains in the Bond movies. But he's terrifying.
He's
so good in this.
Those eyes, man.
I know, right?
It's got those cold-blooded eyes, dude.
And every single dialogue moment that he has with anyone is just like, oh my god, it's fucking terrifying. Like,
that's funny you say you go back and like watch movie clips of like iconic movies, because I have that exact thing with the fucking court scene in There Will Be Blood where like Daniel Day-Lewis is like doing that like insane monologue at the courtroom, and I'm like, holy shit, like, I need to go back and watch this movie, but I can't be fucked to go back and watch this movie.
I've actually like there's been the phase now where, because I've been watching a lot of movie clips, sometimes I just watch clips from movies I haven't seen. And then I end up
you psychopath. Huh? You psychopath.
No, because like it gets recommended and like it's a good clickbait title. I'm like, damn, that was a good scene. And then I watch another clip and another clip. And I feel like there's a lot of people doing this now, because I go to the comment section and I go to the comment section and it's just like, I feel like it's people who've gone through the exact same algorithm journey as me. Because I remember going through the comment section and it's just, I feel like I've watched this entire movie now just through clips. And I'm just like, that's exactly what I did.
These poor cinema directors who pour their heart out to make a cohesive story that's well paid, and you motherfuckers go on YouTube and watch clips.
We're literally.
I've seen the movie now. I've seen the movie.
I've seen the TikTok clips of it.
Oh, God. I fucking love that movie. Like, I can rewatch it as many times.
Well, I mean, watch No Country for Old Men. It's a very good film.
That's a great film.
Or just watch the gas station scene on YouTube.
No, don't do that.
With the zero context. And just be very confused. And be very confused why this guy is asking this other guy to flip a coin.
It's still a great, it's still a great scene even out of context.
The fucking dialogue he asks people is like, the things he asks people are so creepy.
The thing that stands out to me in that film wasn't the dialogue, but it's when he puts down the candy wrapper, and it just like expands for like a little bit too long. And I've never been so tense hearing just a candy wrapper expand. I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
Also, the coolest weapon ever used in a movie.
The
fucking gas canister. It's so fucking cool. Because you're like, oh, this is badass, but fuck, he's terrifying. But this is cool though.
Really scary. I forgot Tommy Lee Jones is in that movie as well.
Yeah, he's the main guy trying to get him, right?
The detective or police guy, whatever it was.
The sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff. That's right. Yeah.
And then, of course, last of all, we've got Ip Man.
Fucking.
I mean, what can you say?
Yeah,
it's the best, one of the best, if not the best, martial arts movie, especially in the past 20 years.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who are massive martial arts buff would argue there's a lot of the earlier films, like some of theJet Li's early stuff, some of Jackie Chan's earlier stuff is good.
What's happened to Jet Li? He just kind of disappeared.
So he kind of jetted.
So as far as I know, as far as I know, what happened with Jet Li is that after Fearless, which was the 2008,
which I thought was a fucking amazing
like
film.
Supposed to be his last. That was supposed to be his last like epic, martial arts film, and it was kind of well received. It's like a very 6 out of 10 film.
All right.
I thought it was really good. It was actually like, I think it's really underrated for a Jet Li movie.
I mean, his older stuff is just way better.
Yeah, I know. But in terms of modern stuff.
And that was supposed to be his last one. And then what ended up happening is that the Expendables were like money. So that was actually like...
That's right, he was in the Expendables.
So that was like his last action film. Yeah. And since then he kind of said that, as far as I know, he kind of quit doing... big martial arts films, because I think it's just too intense. Like, it's a lot, because you have to remember those scenes. Like, choreograph is like insane.
God, I just remembered the fucking Expendables movie. Like, I was like, talk about the most like wankerish movie. It's like, let's just get as many big people as possible. Just like throw them into a movie.
It's just fun, right?
It was fun.
Right.
It was fun.
But have you seen this, Donnie?
I've seen Ip Man. Yeah.
You have? When did you watch Ip Man?
I actually watched it not too long ago because you recommended it.
Yeah, did you like it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. Dude, I mean, I love Jet Li.
It's got one of my favorite fight scenes is when he, the they're fighting the Japanese in the karate, like 10 of them, and he's like breaks
that
their leg.
scene. I think is like the best, one of the best fucking martial arts scenes of all time. Yeah. Talking about clips you can rewatch on YouTube. I've rewatched that.
Okay, to be fair, all right, yeah, that's fair enough. That one.
Yeah, you can watch kung fu fights, but like you can't watch that scene for no control, man, out of context.
It's so good. It's just like so. The story of it, man, is it's about when Japan is invading China, way back, and then. I think there's a scene where, but once they've invaded, they're like, oh well, Japanese karate or something is the superior, so bring your Chinese people to practice with.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. And it's like, if you win, you get a bag of rice or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take on 10 of you. Okay, it's kind of cheesy, but it is epic. But it's so fucking epic. And he like snaps their legs doing it. It's insane.
I feel that kind of cheesiness though in martial arts films is what makes a martial arts film.
It totally is. I feel like it set that scene alone. It set the stakes perfectly. Where it's just like, oh shit, I'm ready to see him fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And then he just takes on 10 black belts.
That's not even like the end of the film though. It's like halfway through.
Yeah, but but
it's the best fight.
It's the best fight of the franchise, right? Because I remember when because the previous guy he fought like 3 black belts, and he's like, "Fuck, I'll take on all of you." And it's just one of the few moments in film where you're just like, I'm ready for this, man. I know this would never happen. I don't care how cheesy this is.
Especially like when you're like, so when I was like 16, whenever I was watching all these movies, I legitimately thought like martial arts like badass, and I'm like, dude, this is epic. But obviously now, with all the the MMA fighters that like fought them, and now it's not so epic because you're like, okay, the MMA fighters should kill these guys. But when you're like 16, you think like, oh shit, this is like the superior way of fighting. You're like, this is epic. Oh my god, like it's so cool.
They don't use strength; they use speed and balance.
It's so fucking cool, right? But no, not so much. But back then, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. And there's a lot of martial, like Jet Li. Jet Li's earlier stuff is amazing. Obviously, Jackie Chan's earlier cinematography is amazing as well. Love like Drunken Master and stuff like that.
That's
such a good film. What are some really good? I forgot what Jet Li's highest rated film is called. It's his 1980s film. It's really highly rated. Is it Fist of the Dragon? Is it or Enter the Dragon or something?
Enter the Dragon is the Bruce Lee movie.
Oh no, sorry, it's
Fist of the Legend.
Fist of the Legend. That's it. That's like his like I think it has like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I was about to say Fist of Fury, but I'm pretty sure it's Bruce Lee. Right?
That's Fist of. That's
also,
Bruce Lee.
Hero with Jet Li is a really good one. But that's it depends if you like martial arts film where they use like wires. Like some people don't like it when they do that. It's kind of I kind of prefer
it's waifu, right?
Yeah, I kind of prefer it when they're just like beating the shit out of each other.
Is that the name of the genre? Waifu?
I know it has a name.
It's like a wirework.
Wirework.
Right? It's not really martial arts, but it is martial arts. But Hero's really good. 2006.
I really liked Hero, which had Donnie Yen in it as well.
Donnie Yen,
and Jet Li.
The story's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I think the story's cool.
I feel like I haven't really sat down and watched like a lot of Jet Li films.
His stuff is actually like really fucking good because Donnie Yen hasn't have another one. I think it's called it might be called War or like Warrior or something. It's like it's about like the 3 kingdoms or something in China way back.
Oh yeah, like Sangokshi.
Warrior.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I think it's called Warrior.
It might be called just Warrior.
Warrior, yeah.
And it's such a good
Jet Li film.
Yeah, Jet Li's the main character, and it's like this about how like a general got like I don't want to spoil it, but just watch it. It's really fucking good. Really, really fucking good.
And I feel like because I didn't want to put another martial arts film on my 3x3, but I feel like one of the few things Southeast Asians can be proud about are our fucking martial arts films because we're like The Raid, Ong Bak.
Yeah, Ong Bak is really good.
Yeah.
Pretty much the only thing of Thai culture that's ever been like popularized outside, you know. But yeah, like I was really happy to see like the more like gritty martial art films. You know, you think of like Ip Man. It's more like very clean.
The Raid's really fucking good.
The Raid's so
good.
Indonesian,
right?
Yeah, it's Indonesian,
but directed by a Welsh guy.
Oh really?
It's a Welsh guy who directs.
Oh shit!
Raid.
Yeah,
is that the Raid 1 or Raid 2? I think because I know you directed Raid 2.
Raid 1. Who directed Raid 1 and 2? Can you check real quick? I swear it's the same guy.
That's another movie I've heard of that I've never seen.
The Raid? Dude, the Raid 1 is like such a good premise.
Yeah.
Just get to the top of an apartment building. That's it.
It's basically just a fighting game. Especially
just like Double Dragon.
Yeah, it's just Double Dragon. Just
the fighting, like the choreography is insane.
Yeah.
Gareth Evans?
Yeah, Gareth Evans. The most Welsh name on earth. Literally 2 Welsh names, Gareth and Evans.
Fair enough.
It's like, it's so bizarre. There's just a Welsh guy directing an Indonesian film.
Hell yeah, dude.
But it's just like awesome. Like it's such a good fight.
That's some cross-cultural pollination right there. If I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look at us, Thai and Welsh here too. You know. Look at us. But yeah, I mean, I fucking love fighting martial arts movies. And I've watched nearly all of Jet Li's films. I think I've watched most of them. I couldn't watch some of the older ones because they were impossible to find online.
Right.
And I've watched, I think, all of Donnie Yen's films pre-Ip Man. I haven't watched Ip Man 4. I heard it was okay.
I really liked Ip Man 4.
Really?
I actually, it's my second favorite
Maybe I'll
Ip
watch
Man
it
film.
tonight.
Because I feel like Ip Man 4 is just Ip
3
Man.
was the worst for me.
Yeah, I feel like Ip Man 4 was just Ip Man 2 done better.
Yeah.
Because my problem with Ip Man 2 is that the villain is just so comical that I just couldn't take him seriously. Right. It's just like, let's characterize this character.
So the whole selling point to like a Western audience of Ip Man was just that it's the guy who trained Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
That's literally the selling point of it.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But he's supposed to be like a master or something. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, that is a cool like catch, to be fair.
I mean, that's how it was marketed and the story. Again, I don't know how true it is, but it's an interesting made up story. Maybe if it is, I don't know if it's true or not.
It's true. It's a real character, but the events are fictional.
Yeah, that's normally how it goes. With martial arts people, it's kind of hard to survive some of the shit they're going through.
But I mean, like, I'm sure they fought all those people, but they probably died halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he did fight 10 black belts. No. You know, that's probably dramatized.
Yeah, unless he's like a fucking Super Saiyan.
There's another Donnie Yen film that's actually really good where he's like a detective in a small town, I think, in a village. And it's really good because it's like a mystery of the martial arts, and it's just it's really good. I forgot what it's called. Again, I've watched these movies so long ago.
Yeah,
it came after Ip Man.
Same with Jackie Chan as well. Some of his best works are when he was young, like fucking Police Story.
Police Story is fantastic.
Is that the scene where he jumps on the wire?
Yeah. And it's completely real.
What's it called? Are you thinking about Flashpoint?
Might be Flashpoint.
Or Kung Fu Jungle. I think it's Flashpoint.
What's the is it yellow? The poster?
The yellow one is wait. I only have the Chinese name. It's the one where he's a teacher, right?
Maybe. Again, I might have remembered it incorrectly because
it's been so long since I watched
it. Big Brother.
I have to go back to the thing and watch it. I might be misremembering.
I feel like one underrated Donnie Yen film is, I think it was SPX or something like that.
What's the plot?
Honestly, I do not remember. But the only reason
SPS just sounds like a law firm.
Let me.
Well, because what happened was that you had Bruce Lee, then you had Jackie Chan. And then when Jackie Chan was getting older, Jet Li was making films.
Yeah.
And then when Jet Li was getting older, Donnie Yen came in. But I don't really know who it is now. Who's like the main martial arts guy? Who is the main like face of martial arts now?
I don't even know anymore.
I think like Donnie Yen, but he's close to retiring.
Yeah,
I think it still is Donnie Yen because he's in the new Marvel film.
Yeah, but they also don't really utilize him much.
I mean, he's the villain, isn't he?
I feel just like martial arts films have kind of just like a little bit of a dying breed almost in like, especially in the West. I feel like I'm sure like if you go to Asia and Southeast Asia, they're still making.
Well, I mean, the past like 20 years have all been from China. Like Ip Man's from China,
right?
Yeah. And then Donnie Yen is in Rogue One. From Star Wars, but again, when I was watching that movie and you can see what Donnie Yen does, you're kind of disappointed because you're like, Donnie Yen is was so fucking good, and they barely use him. He just swings a fucking thing around.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, cool. He's blind.
I haven't seen
wow,
Rogue
sick.
One, so.
It's cool, but yeah, he could have done.
He could have done so much. Like anyone, like a lot of people could have done what Donnie Yen did in that film, and I feel like if you're getting Donnie Yen, and he doesn't really speak much in the film, right? Because I don't think he can speak much English.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is there hasn't been a Rush Hour 2 yet. There hasn't been a modern Rush Hour
with Donnie Yen.
Yeah, honestly, fuck yeah.
And Ice Cube.
Ice Cube and Donnie Yen. In the movie industry, we just gave you $1 million idea. Donnie Yen and Ice Cube in Rush Hour 7 or whatever the next one is.
Oh my god! What I was thinking about was SPL.
SPL.
What's the plot of that movie? Can you tell me the plot?
SPL?
Yeah.
It's in my phone's in Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah, but I remember there's one fight scene in SPL, which is like completely just improvised.
I think is it in the street?
Yeah, it's in the street where it's such a fucking good fight scene, and then because the whole premise around this, the whole background around this fight scene is that they train together. These two actors, Donnie Yen, and I'm not sure who the other person is, but they train together, and because they were so familiar with each other's fighting style, they literally just improvised this fight scene with just this basic. Okay, here's what's meant to happen, but let's just try to kill each other. And then let's just get it on film.
Oh, damn.
And
it's so cool.
It's such a good film as well.
It portrays a police detective who's suffering from cancer and about to retire, resorts to illegal means in order to capture ruthless criminals.
Yeah, all I remember was there was a police detective in it, and I'm just like, that's like, it's either like traditional, like historical setting, or they're a police detective.
Or it's a crime drama. Or it's like a neo-noir crime drama. But I mean, oh god, how do you like describe this 3x3? It's like,
I mean, how do you describe any 3x3?
This
well, you can describe mine. Pretentious film critic.
Yeah, pretentious, powerful.
I don't know.
Guilty pleasure.
I'm trying to think of a word with P.
Yeah.
P? Why P?
Because
pretentious, powerful, poo-poo pee-pee.
Pouring. Yeah, poo-poo pee-pee.
Yeah, poo-poo pee-pee.
But yeah, I guess those are our 3x3s.
I hope you get to watch some interesting movies if you haven't seen some of these.
Yeah, please go and watch all the movies we recommended.
I have some movie recommendations that I will be watching, I guess, now. I don't know
I've honestly come out with this with some movie recommendations, and this was actually
Shrek too.
Obviously, I always got time.
We know what we're doing after this recording. Sitting down with some Shrek 2, baby.
But no, I mean, like, it feels good to be able to talk about movies because I feel like I don't get to talk about movies a lot. Even though, like, I kind of realize whenever I talk about movies, I've seen a lot of movies, and I feel like you guys have seen a lot of movies as well. And we even like off camera, we don't really talk about movies in general.
I think it just has to do with the fact that we haven't really had time to just sit down and watch some movies.
To be fair, I've not watched movies in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
It's gotten. I feel like I don't know. I feel like people don't watch as many movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like
if it's not on Netflix, then I probably haven't seen it. But
I'd say I watched like 90% of the films I've seen in like between the ages of like 18 and 14.
Yeah,
I
think that's usually like the period in your life where you're like, I'm going to watch a lot of movies.
It's also when I discovered you could just Google the movies, and I was like, holy shit.
I mean, my dad used to collect like a shitload of DVDs when like Blockbuster was still a thing. So like, I just watched a lot of the movies with my dad.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot less movies than I did before as well, because now it's just all been replaced by anime, right? And a lot of anime movies and YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like if there's a big enough movie, then I probably have seen it. Like I'm surprised no one put any Marvel movies here.
Who the fuck cares about Marvel?
I mean, I care about Marvel. I'm just like, Marvel's that one franchise where I'm just like, hello, I'm a normie.
It's fun, but it's not like I'm never like fuck, dude, that made me think something that made me like happy. Like,
it's like if I'm gonna watch a 3-hour,
I was like really fucking invested in Infinity War and Endgame. I'll say that.
I didn't even watch those two.
Endgame was good, but again, it wasn't like, I thought it was amazing, but it wasn't like something that made me like, when I left the cinema like a week later, I don't think about Endgame.
Also, I'm surprised no one put John Wick as well. I thought
I was close.
I thought someone was going to put John Wick on.
John Wick's just another one of those like, it's fun, turn your brain off.
It's amazing.
It's fucking
no.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie.
Yeah,
John Wick is probably like my favorite action series.
It's like in the West they have John Wick, and in the East they have Ip Man. That's like Ip Man's just like the Asian equivalent of John Wick.
Oh, dude, man, it holds a very dear place in my heart because I've watched all the John Wick movies in cinema.
Yeah,
and like I watched the last one that came out alone, and the cinema was empty, and I had like such an amazing time watching that. It was like the last. Bro, I was just fun. I got to put my legs up on the chair in front of me. I had all my popcorn, and I just got to enjoy it, bro. It was so good. It was such a good, dude. I'm so excited for the next one.
I've only seen the first John Wick movie,
so I'm so hyped for it, bro.
So
you have to.
I know.
It gets better and better.
Yeah.
Like the second one's amazing. The third one's amazing.
It's another one of those like long list of movies that I hear people talking about saying it's amazing, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch it.
I don't want to be too normie, so I didn't put it on. But it's.
Yeah, because sometimes I just don't know what movies to watch because I didn't like. It's weird now because I don't know where to start because we're so ingrained in like anime culture that I know when there's a hot anime coming out. But in terms of movie recommendations, anything from like the past 5 years, if it's not been talked about a lot, then I just probably haven't seen it.
I mean, I barely have enough time to watch anime, let alone fucking movies.
Joey, you don't watch anime, period.
No, I don't. I don't watch movies, period. I don't watch anime, period. That's just how it goes.
Just read manga. Right?
I just read manga.
But you know who
manga and read porn.
You know who does watch movies, Joey?
Who?
You tell me.
Is it the patrons?
It is the patrons.
Hell yeah, bro. Look at all these movie goers. Let us know on the Reddit, I guess. I mean, I don't even have to tell you guys to fucking do it because you probably will just fill up our subreddit with your 3x3s.
Yeah.
Please do so because we want to see what you guys think.
I think now that because we have mods in the subreddit, we're going to have like a dedicated thread for your movie 3x3s. And if you have any movie recommendations, I'm actually all open ears for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, to me, watching movies is my downtime because I can watch it and I don't have to think about making a video on it.
Exactly.
I can just watch it to enjoy it.
Exactly.
It's just like to me with movies is how I feel other people are to anime, where I'm just looking for some good movies.
Yeah.
So any movies that have come out recently that you might recommend?
Yeah, if you have any recommendations, please
because
leave them down in the
I've been
comments.
pretty out of touch with the movie scene.
Tell us, gamers. Tell us your favorite movies.
Yeah, tell us down in the comments below. Also, if you like the show, then consider supporting us on our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also, follow us on Twitter. Give us your 3x3s on the subreddit. And if you hate our faces, listen to us on Spotify. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this themed episode.
Yeah.
There's going to be more 3x3s coming. I'm just going to say that right now.
There's going to be a lot more 3x3s
There's going to be a lot more 3x3 coming. So if you like this kind of episode, then stick around for more.
I mean, it's just an easy format, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But
until next time,
bye.